Okay, it's back on again. My name is Shea from Stackhouse Knives, and yeah, we're going to be kicking off this evening stream by doing a couple of sort of Q and A's, a couple of asking questions for you guys, seeing how things are going for you. Obviously, asking questions so you can answer them, just so you've got a bit of interaction as well. What else have I got planned? I'm hoping to be able to forge a J hook, a leaf, a bottle opener, a ring, and also a small puko knife by this evening. So I'll get the forge on at a later stage, but this stream is going to be very casual. It is very easy to just be easy to kind of join and then come by and join the stream at a later stage, or you can hang about for the whole about 4 hours, just under 4 hours that we're going to be doing. So of whatever, you can do whatever. So yeah, my first topic of today is your favourite knife that you've used for 2018. So if you're welcome to put them down in the comment section on your favourite knife that you've used. You may have made the knife yourself, you may have purchased the knife, you may have had it for a long time, you may have gotten it this year. But yeah, a knife that you own would be really cool to get an idea of how that's running. And yeah, let me know. Really cool. Ideally. And I've got wonderful Lena next to me who's going to be managing the streams on all different platforms. So it's running well and it's going to be working, but I just want to hold up. I basically have 3 mobile devices taped to a magnet and they are running pretty well so far. So yeah, but yeah, thanks very much for tuning in to this evening stream. The first topic of tonight, because it's going to be a long stream, going to be streaming till New Year's Day. It's going to be a long stream. Is your favourite knife that you've had for yeah, so far, or 2018? You could have had it for a long time, or you could have had it just recently. But let me know your favourite knife is, and I'd love to hear how it's going.
YouTube's not working.
YouTube is not working. YouTube is not working. It's still streaming on my end.
It's not watchable, but then that could be because the internet is being choked up by so many devices.
Possibly. Yep. Could be. Oh well. Oh, Toro. Yeah, I know those knives. Folding knife with switch lock. Cool. Very exciting. Couldn't find the info about the knife or company online. So you got no information on it whatsoever. Okay. Well, whatever your favourite knife is, you know, I'd love to hear about it. What do you use it for? Is a good one. What's the best job that it does? Do you use it just for one special job every now and again, or is it sort of your daily knife that you use every time you have a particular job you want to do? It's just there. I'd like to say my most reliable knife that I've had for a long time is actually on my car keys, and it's called a Duk Duk, which from my friend Luke gave me, which was very wonderful of him. But they're a small folding blade with a really wonderful locking mechanism to them. They sound really good when they lock, but you can hear that lock. It sounds really good. But yeah, Duk Duk, I think he bought it in Amsterdam, so it's a European knife. Really reliable. I actually had to put some oil on the mechanism after about a year of receiving it, just to get the mechanism a little bit less sticky and kind of gritty. But it has been my go-to knife for just about everything, because it's on my car keys there when I want to do something. So yeah, it's a pretty good knife. But I'd love to hear what your favourite knife is that so far that you've used. It could be a very special knife, it could be a very not boring knife. Yeah, it depends on what you use, but I'd love to hear what your favourite knife is and how it's worked for you. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below. But yeah, just join the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. Yeah, we're going to be streaming pretty much till New Year's, so it's going to be a long stream. I've got a couple of forging projects planned, some quite small projects, but one of them is a J hook, a leaf, a steel leaf made from mild steel, a bottle opener, which is a really fun project, lots of techniques involved with that one. What else have I got? A ring, a small ring, so I've got a small ring sizer, and I can drive a hole through a piece. that's quite a fun technique as well when you're learning how to make rings. And finally, a small knife, a small puko, sort of like a paring knife blade. I want to make one of those for this evening as well, but hopefully I'll span them out over this evening's stream so that they can, I guess, just so I can have a little bit of a break between each project. But ideally, yeah, just having having a break between each project while I'm making them, and yeah, maybe fire a few more questions. But yeah, favorite knife 2018. Chuck your comments down in the comment section below. That'd be nice to hear. But yeah, my favorite knife would be that European style duk. Let me know how your favorite knife is doing. So yeah, thanks for everyone who's just joined this evening stream. I really hope you're having a good evening tonight. I'd love to hear what you have got planned for your New Year's Eve event evening. Yeah, let me know what you're doing right this moment, watching this stream. But yeah, I'd love to hear how it's going. You could be getting ready for a party at some friend's house. You may not be doing anything for New Year's Eve at all, but of which it'll be quite nice to hear how you guys are doing. So yeah, cheers to everyone who has just joined this evening's stream. Just managing a couple of comments because I'm running like multiple devices, so please bear with me. Rather nice Damascus knife I got from a guy. Cool guy, I guess. Sounds good. Merry Christmas to you too, you and your family, Christopher. Lovely to hear from you. Yeah, enjoy your New Year's. I'd love to hear what's happening. So yeah, let me know what you're doing. It'd be cool to see how hear how your evening is going, and yeah. But yeah, this evening's stream is pretty much till New Year's Day, so it's going to be a long one, but still going to be good. Hopefully, pretty much running the stream most of this evening. We'll do a food order so my wife and I can have some dinner. But we're just going to do a Domino's run. Hopefully they can do a delivery for us. Hey, that'd be good. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be good. But yeah, favourite knife. If you've got no more suggestions on that, I'm going to move to our second topic for this evening. Yeah, your new next year's goals, and what do you hope to, or what do you hope to achieve next year? So this kind of could be knife making related. It could just be what you're planning to do next year. So either of which, it would be really cool to hear from you guys what you're planning on doing. For my New Year's goal, I'd really like to try just kind of honing in on what I already do, and kind of put that aside so I can start learning more and being more experimental with new steels, and being more brave with crucible types of steels, and just really hard wearing materials and stuff like that. Yeah, just learning new things, really important. I think I'd love to try getting into some cryo treatments for knives, some more mosaic Damascus patterns, things like that would be really quite fun as well. I'd love to do that. What else? But yeah, let me know what you're planning on doing for your New Year's. And I'm going to answer some questions really quickly. Shea, have you ever made an axe? I'm a huge fan of boutique hand-forged axes. I have made an axe. I don't have it with me, but I have forged one for a fellow when I was studying a while ago now. It was sort of a forged and modified version of an axe. It was his style, so he was happy with it, but wasn't that proud of it in the end, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah. Just checking some more comments. Give me a sec. Holiday, eating and drinking, of course. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Make a Damascus cleaver. That sounds like a very fun project. Yeah, it's quite weird. Damascus cleavers has been quite a popular one in the last, I'd say, 6 months that we've been doing classes. Yeah, heaps. Yeah, I agree. And people have just been like, we want to make a Damascus steel cleaver, and it's like, yeah, we can do a cleaver. What other knife could you possibly want to make? I want to make a cleaver. Cool. No, cleavers are cool. Very versatile knives, very heavy, very um, yeah. They just do the job very quickly because they're very heavy and they just chop through anything. So yeah, cleaver is the one. But yeah, so just recapping. Yeah, New Year's goals or what you hope to achieve next year. It'd be lovely to hear from you guys, and you can put that down in the comment section below. Let me know how and why and do really. But yeah, for me, it's just doing a lot more learning, doing a lot more, just more experimental stuff, more kind of exciting projects like that, really. Yeah, and probably, I mean, I won't spoil too much, but probably doing different kinds of classes as well, and I may have to pull some people in to experiment on how well a class will run, much like I did with my knife sharpening classes. But just doing something and having volunteers come and visit the workshop and make and also experiment with how I can do a class structure with a set number of people and run a decent class. So axe making could be a cool one. I think I get a lot of people asking about axes, which is quite good. On the other half of things, people wanting to make big knives, so that kind of comes back to that meat cleaver or Damascus meat cleaver idea. So we're really trying to branch out to help cater to you guys to get what you want out of a class made, which is important. Obviously within the parameters and time and expectations that we have of you and then you have of us. But yeah, it's a pretty good model. What other classes?
Knife sharpening.
Yeah, obviously we've got the knife sharpening, which is a good one.
And then the varied blacksmithing.
Yeah, I think varied blacksmithing would be a good one. Yeah, having almost sort of set blacksmithing classes that are designed to cater to a particular genre. I'd really like to. Hey.
Like cutlery.
Like cutlery, yeah. Like cutlery would be quite cool. Like making your own tongs or maybe like a barbecue spatula. I think that'd be quite cool. Perhaps making a spatula, a soup ladle could be quite cool. Even just spoons and cutlery could be quite a exciting and fun project to do. And yeah, just keeping that in that cutlery genre would be really fun for the blacksmithing classes. And then on the other side of things, having a class that would be, if anything, going towards making other objects. So it'd be sort of like a Kickstarter if you got into blacksmithing and you got into knife making. Like, I don't really want to make the spatula and stuff. I want to make that later, but I actually want to make the tools to make those particular tools. So having a set blacksmith tools class would be another really cool project. I think that'll be really, really fun. So I guess things to expect in a blacksmithing class like that would be a hole punch, which is a really popular one. Got a hole punch here. Really simple object there. So nice, simple hole punch. Sort of a, I'll show you a little bit closer, but yeah, it's got a hex sort of shape. It's quite mushroomed and crowned because it's been beaten and used a lot in classes and by myself. But yeah, really simple tools like that, which are not really accessible, and people will try to use threaded rod and all sorts of other things. But a nice solid hole punch that will last you a long time. Really, really good tool. Obviously tongs, so you can hold on to that piece of steel when you're working. Really important again. Hopefully things like hammers could be good. I'd really love to, I mean, I'm not quite there yet, but I'd love to be able to cater for people to make their own sledgehammer or cross peen hammer, but a hammer like this that you can use towards making your own objects and your own, I guess, career path, and yeah, just where you want to take it really. But yeah, just cross peen hammer, tongs, what else? Hole punch, slot punches, all sorts of tiny little tools that will help get you from A to B, and learning to make those, and then learning to make those other tools would be quite fun as well. But whatever, yeah, I guess that's that one. And then I guess the other, if you wanted to go more of down a traditional route of doing blacksmithing, and you wanted to do scrolls and leaves and sort of tight twists and just really traditional methods of, they're almost the exercise of doing it is quite a a satisfying experience. You just make that object that's got a lot of different techniques in it, but it doesn't really serve a function. It's not a tool. and it's not a cutlery or a kitchen utensil, but it's just there, and it sets its own presence really, and I think that'll be quite fun doing twists. Trying to think of objects now, but just really simple objects. Like if you think about wrought iron gates, which are a really good example of that. Yeah, door handles, things. I mean, those still serve a function, but they're
like it's a twist and then you bend it.
exactly. Yeah, it's a twist and then you bend it. But yeah, it serves an ornate purpose, and it just looks really pretty. Things like that, really important. So yeah. Shelving's good, yeah, right angle shelving, making them from mild steel is quite fun. I guess, letters for home addresses would be quite a fun one as well. I did a project recently, a little bit harder, but it's still pretty fun. I did do a letterhead, address letters for a friend of the family, and it was commissioned probably about 2 months ago now, and forged some lovely letters for them because they wanted something that would really stand out. And my friend recommended me and said, "Oh, do you do this, and could you make something that's quite unique?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. We'll work it out. I'm sure we can sort something." But yeah, that's kind of going off topic now. I do apologise, but yeah. Recap New Year's goals and what you hope to achieve. Please let me know down in the comment section below. I'm going to read some comments now because I'm just catching up on comments.
Do you want to pass me my phone so I can have a look at Instagram if we're not using YouTube?
It's still running live, so it's fine. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube's being annoying, but YouTube's a pain in the butt. So yeah, what about light hammers, panel hammers for panel beating? Of course, yeah, panel beating hammers would be a kind of a sub hammer of that degree. Yeah, it'd be quite fun. My dessert is ready. We'll check back in later. Okay, cool. Enjoy your dessert. Hope to hear from you later on, Chris. Thank you very much. But if you haven't got anything else on the on what you want to hope to achieve this year, next year, and what your goals are, we'll move on to the next subject, which is your best tool purchase, which is mostly knife making related. Your best tool purchase, and whether you'd recommend it as well, which would be quite a good one. But let me know down in the comments section if you've invested in a tool recently and it's quite a good tool. If you would recommend it, that would be good. It could be something as simple as you went out your way and bought yourself a really good quality file, or it could be you really went overboard and decided to put a lot of money forward on perhaps a belt grinder, or maybe you bought a new anvil. You maybe bought a power hammer, things like that. But just let me know what you have gone and purchased and wanted to purchase this year, and if you would recommend it or not. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below what you have purchased. But yeah, and thanks very much for those who have just tuned into this evening's stream. It's been pretty good, and so far, but we're going to be going till New Year's Day. It's going to be a long stream, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. Yeah, there's a seagull, but kind of squawking outside, so yeah, he's a funny one. He's just being really funny now. Cool. Yeah, but if you've gone and bought a tool, if it's not knife making related, that doesn't have to be that, but just let me know what you've gone and purchased that was really an investment towards your passion and your career. It'd be really cool to hear how things are going for you. But yeah, let me know in the comment section how that is going. I'm trying to think of my one now. My best purchase and investment recently. If it wasn't as of this year, I'd probably say my power hammer that I own. Really good tool that I've invested. But yeah, what's your best tool and purchase that you've done this year? I'm trying to think. I've bought some really nice simple files, like quite square files, jeweler's files, and they're really good for doing that kind of work. What else? A lot of the stuff we've invested in, quite boring, but lighting and power cables and upgrading insurance and things like that. Not quite as exciting as an anvil or a power hammer or something quite fun like that, but nonetheless, it's still a good investment. I guess I'd say my recent purchase on a Bohemian style power hammer, not a power hammer, a anvil that I've purchased. Power hammer. I've just got power hammers on the brain now. But yeah, purchasing a anvil. I might go get it. But that was a really cool purchase, and I was sort of fighting someone else on Trade Me on the way back because I'd given Lena my phone, so she was busy bidding on things in the car, and we were driving home after catching up with some friends, and it was quite funny. But yeah, we were just bidding in a rush on this really awesome clean anvil, and yeah, the price just kind of kept going up, and I'm like, oh no, it's going to be a bit scary how much this is going to cost. But when I got it, it was a really good investment. So yeah, highly recommended. But it was a good anvil. If you want to hold tight, I'll go show it to you now. But yeah, for those that are just tuned in for this evening stream, thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, so we're going to be streaming pretty much till New Year's. That's the plan. But my subject at the moment for the stream is your best tool purchase and recommendation. I'm going to be reading a couple of comments now on Insta and on Facebook. Fire Ant Grinder. Oh, hi Wayne, how's it going? Highly recommended. Actually last a year. This year was a noob grinder. Okay, right. So your Fire Ant was you purchased last year, and this year is your noob grinder. Yeah. Oh, that's good. And I mean, those guys, they're not cheap. That is a large expense to kind of swallow and go, yeah, I'm going to get into this, and I'm going to start making more knives and trying to make that money back or put that money aside, depending on what your income situation is quite a hard one. I'll go get an anvil in a second. And then, Lena, a good grinder. Yeah, I'm just seeing Lena's. I was going to quickly wave to those who have just joined this evening stream. Thank you very much. And as you do, you wave and you go, yo. But yeah, best tool that you've bought this year. And I'll go get my anvil. Have a think about that. And it could be a small tool. You could have just purchased yourself a nice little file for jewellery or for knife making. But yeah, simple tools, but really good tools. Have a think about that, and I'll show you my anvil. I put up my other anvil. Hopefully that's in focus. Oh yeah, you can see that. So yeah, Bohemian style anvil. It's got 30 written on the other side of it. A little bit closer. It is like 30 kgs. That's it there. It's a lovely little anvil. It's really cool. Probably paid too much for it, but the top bid was close to $700. So you know, as you do. So I'd say that's my biggest purchase as of, well, not biggest purchase, but my best purchase. Now, why I purchased this one, just judging by the photos, and obviously when you bid on something on Trade Me, you always want to just get as many photos of it as you can, and sometimes when you buy it, it's not as big or as, you know, lovely as you thought. But yeah, the anvil was a really good purchase. It's got a hardy hole, so it's got a little square hole in it, so you can put tools in. Just turn that around so you can see. Little square hole just there, really good. But why I bought this guy was all of the edges on the anvil are completely square. And the anvil that I have that's sitting on at the moment, a Peter Wright, a 32 kg or a 16 something pound. But that one has some very worn edges, and I bought it second hand, so it's not really the best anvil. I did pay probably, I'd say, $650, including some shipping on top of that for this particular anvil. So this big black anvil has been my biggest purchase in terms of anvils, but also it has the nicest, squarest, tidiest edges out of all of them. So yeah, really good anvil. I'm hoping to make a foundation for this soon and get a really nice base sorted. But this is going to be my anvil for doing my own work. And then this anvil and the other 3 anvils that I have that I use for classes, I'm going to be dedicating pretty much to students just going ham on, really, pretty much. So yeah, that's my Best tool, would I recommend it? Yes, if you can get hold of one that's this size and price, and obviously if you can afford it. Really good anvil, highly recommend it. It sounds wonderful when you ring it. I'll get a hammer now, you can have a little listen. Probably will not be that great for the audio, but it's quite a nice anvil. So yeah, that's my purchase. Oh, put that down. So yeah, cheers to those who have just joined this evening's stream. Yeah, kind of finishing up on the topic now. Your best purchase, tool purchase, and yeah, I guess would you recommend it? I'm very keen on getting a noob grinder, which is what Wayne recommended. So I'm really quite keen on that. But yeah, those that have joined this evening's stream, how's it going? How's the fake tan, Lena? The fake tan is gone. Thank you, AJ. It is gone. God. We got some funny people joining the stream now. That's fine. Yeah. The fake tan is good. Yeah, so don't mix.
Explain the fake tan.
What was the chemical called again? Benzone. Anyway, the active ingredient in sunscreen actively reacts with iron or steel, and we'd applied some sunscreen. Sort of going off topic now, so sorry guys, but going off topic for this evening. But if you add sunscreen over a very oxidized and sort of dirty, gritty skin, the sunscreen is going to completely go orange, and it's quite cool, very spectacular, very
fake tan.
Very fake tan. So if you ever wanted a fake tan and just get an angle grinder, get some steel, and just get completely covered in steel grit, apply some sunscreen, and you get this wonderful golden orange tan. So highly recommended. So that's, that kind of goes in tandem with the best tool purchase. So get yourself some sunscreen, and yeah, that'll be quite good. But yeah, cheers for those who have just joined this evening's stream. So the plan is for this evening's stream is we're going to be streaming up until New Year's Day. Quite a long stream, but it's going to be fun, and yeah, it's going to be good. But we've had a couple of topics about your favourite knife as of 2018, so we had a couple of suggestions from comments section below, and New Year's goals and what you hope to achieve was the second subject, and now we're on the third subject, pardon me, your best tool purchase and recommendation. But yeah, some people put forward the idea of a noob grinder, which is quite a good purchase. I must agree on that. Rust remover, yep. Happy New Year to you both. Cheers, Robert. Happy New Year to you too, Robert. Have a wonderful New Year's evening and day tomorrow. Take care, and yeah, have a good time. Lena's getting on top of all of these comments, which is great because I'm really crap at remembering to.
Christopher asked, what about a lighter hammers like a panel hammer for panel beating?
Yeah, I saw that one. I answered that one earlier. Yeah, so a panel maker's hammer would go into that. So back on the subject of doing classes, if I was to do hammers, which would be really fun, but I just don't have the equipment for quite yet. I'd love to get a couple of presses, at least one Coal Iron Works press. If you don't know what those are, check them out. So Coal Iron Works are an American company in Idaho, I think, and yeah, they make some wonderful, compact but very powerful hydraulic presses and forging presses. So not just a hydraulic press that just goes and it takes forever for it to get from A to B. They are very fast and they squish steel marvelously. So that's really what my next biggest purchase is when we, we'll get there eventually.
When we got room.
When we have room, yeah. Studio's getting a little bit small, but sorry?
We're working on it.
We're working on it. We're working with what we've got. But yeah, bigger studio would be marvellous, but we'll get there. Have a fantastic New Year to you both. Cheers, Robert. Cheers. Thank you very much, Robert. You have a wonderful New Year's and evening tonight. Yeah. So I'm going to jump into doing some forging now. So if you are tuned in, I'd love for you to stay tuned in. I'm going to get the forge going and start forging a J hook for this evening. So doing some forging will be the plan. But yeah, so I've got a couple of forging projects planned, but because we're going to be spanning them out all through this evening's stream, I just want to have a couple of projects just ready, and then I'll have a break, and then I'll get into another project. We'll do some more Q&As and maybe some more fun stuff later on in the stream. But yeah, let's get the forge on, and we'll get into it. But yeah, hopefully.
What are we making first?
Oh, we're going to be making a J-hook first. So J-hook, if you don't know what a J-hook is, I have one somewhere.
Oh my god.
Somewhere. Where have I put my J-hook? There it is. Cool. So this one was actually made by a Callum Davidson, wonderful blacksmith and knife maker. Also, just generally a great dude. But that's a J-hook there, obviously, because it looks like a J. And this one has a little leaf attached to it. All been forged from 16mm mild steel. Yes, AJ, we're streaming till midnight. Tune in later on. See how we go. It's going to be good. But yeah, a J-hook has a couple of holes punched in it so that you can pop a nail into whatever you're wanting to hook on. But yeah, this evening it'll be a J-hook fun project. We'll get on to doing some forging. So yeah, if you want to stay tuned, stay tuned. Yeah, it's going to be good. Maybe Lena can keep the stream entertained. I don't know.
I'm sure I can.
You can, yeah. Okie dokie. Right, so we've got the forge ready. This will probably take about 20 or maybe 10-15 minutes to get up to temperature. So I'll come back and entertain you guys really soon. There we go. And turn this guy on. Gonna get my safety gear soon. We'll do that the other way. Alright, so the forge is on and it's lit, and I'll start doing this J pretty soon. So I'll get that guy preheated, and yeah, so those that have just joined this evening stream, that's pretty much what I'm going to be making for this first session. I'm hoping to make a bottle opener and a couple of other really fun projects later on for this evening, but we are going to be streaming up until New Year's Day, so it's going to be a long stream. But it's going to be fun to check what our time is looking like now. Okay, so we've been streaming for about just over 50 minutes now, so that's not too bad. So we've got a few more hours to go. But yeah, Happy New Year. If the rum wins. Thanks, AJ. We'll tune in later on when the rum is gone. Brilliant. Yeah, so in the link in the description below, you can check out the Coal Iron Works presses. They're quite good. Would highly recommend them. Yeah, I mean, I don't have one yet, but I'm saving up to get one. So obviously I'm going to buy one, but I really want to purchase one soon. Yeah, but J Hook is for this evening's stream, so I'm going to be forging some steel. You're welcome to have a break from watching the stream and tune back in at a later stage, because we're going to be streaming up until New Year's. So yeah, just sit back and enjoy your evening. Really, if you're chilling out doing nothing, if you're with friends, let me know in the comment section down below how your evening is going. You may be yeah, as I said, you may be with friends. You may be on your own, so if you are on your own, I really hope you're enjoying this evening's stream, and yeah, this is a little bit, fun and entertaining to watch. I hope so. So yeah, that is the plan for our New Year's, is to share it with you guys. But yeah, we'll get on to forging pretty soon. I guess what I might do is just chuck in a jump into my schedule a little bit, but just some casual Q&A. If you've got a question to ask, or if you've got something to ask, you're welcome just to let me know how things are going. Yeah, just ask the questions, how things are doing. I can't see YouTube's chat, so my wife Lena's going to be helping answer those questions, or she'll just ask me and I can answer for you. But if you're on YouTube and you're watching, yeah, thank you very much for joining this evening's stream. We've had a couple of different topics and subjects on, like your favourite knife 2018, which was quite a good one. We had some good people putting some answers out there in the comment section. And what was the other one? My second one was New Year's goals. What you'd like to plan on doing or hope to achieve next year. And I was talking about what I would like to achieve next year, and doing a lot more learning. Obviously, as you know, throughout in life you learn. But putting down a couple of different projects and really jumping into some crazy projects head first, and experimenting with lots of different steels. I feel like I really want to start making and also breaking a lot more knives so I can ruin some things and learn some things. That's also going to be really fun. Yeah, so pretty much that is the plan. To see how the forge is going. It's actually quite good because I've got my stream set up on a mobile kind of situation. Whoops. So you guys can see my forge is heating up already. It's looking pretty good. You can see the cone in there. Quite a lovely little forge. Been using this one for about 9 months now. It's quite a cool forge. But yeah, really awesome stream setup we have. I'll take a quick photograph of it for you guys, but later on I will do that. But yeah, we've basically got 3 mobile phones with magnets and sellotapes to a big magnetic knife strip with a bunch of plug points to charge the devices, and also run a multi-board so that they're all linked up. So very Kiwi ingenuity there. Very yeah, just lots of sellotape basically to fix it up, or masking tape for that matter. But yeah, thanks very much for joining this evening's stream, and let me know how you're doing. It'd be nice to hear from you guys. Yeah. Alright, we'll see how things are going. Block of mild steel. So I'm going to forge my J hook just from a piece of 16mm mild steel. Really good stuff. I actually get the stuff from United Steel in New Zealand. There's a branch in Auckland, there's a branch in Wellington, there's also a branch down in Christchurch, I do believe. But for about $18 you can get yourself about 6 meters of the stuff. You will need a very long vehicle, or pay to have it chopped into 1 or 2 meter lengths. But still, even when you pay extra to get it chopped, it's really recommended. Quite a good price for using mild steel. But yeah, this evening I'm going to be doing a J hook, a leaf, a bottle opener, a ring, and a knife as well. So all through streaming till this coming day, it's going to be good. I'm going to be very tired. We've got lots of energy drinks for me in the fridge, lots of caffeine. It's going to be good. We've got some food, and hopefully we'll do a pizza order later on, and I can eat some food as well. But that is the plan for this evening, and it's going to be fun. So yeah, I'm going to put this in the fire now, and we'll get it hot and make a J hook. If you don't know what a J hook is, a J hook pretty much looks like that. It is a hook that is a J, and has some holes in it as well that you can put a nail in. Quite a good fun project to make. They're also functional, but this one has like a leaf on it. This was made by Callum Davidson, so maybe I'll tag him in the comment section and say, yo, your J hook is being shouted out at. So yeah, but it's good. I'll put this in the fire now. But thanks for those who have just joined this evening's stream. I hope you're having a good time. Let me know how your New Year's Day is going, or New Year's Eve, sorry. And yeah, what are you doing? Are you with friends? Maybe with family? Usually, when it comes to having Christmas and New Year's so close to each other, people are traveling the country, or they're overseas, or they're visiting on a family. So perhaps you're spending your New Year's Eve with family. You could be with friends you haven't seen in a long time. Also quite a special occasion, but yeah, let me know how your New Year's Eve is going, because yeah, we're deciding to spend our New Year's Eve with all of you guys and do a stream. So yeah, we're streaming off 3 different platforms at once, and we're also doing quite a very put together system where we have 3 mobile devices with magnetic adhesive plates on them stuck to a knife magnet strip. Also they have wires and plug points connecting into electricity so that they can keep charging while they're doing a stream. So I might take a photograph at a later stage to show you the actual setup. It looks pretty terrible, but it's working really well and it's managing to keep the streams going. But yeah, we're on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and we're also on Instagram as well. So yeah, we're going to be streaming also this evening. You can tune in and then tune out later and then go, oh, what's Shea doing, and tune back into it. It'll be quite fun, but I'd love to hear how your evening is going. But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to be making a J-hook for this evening, and I'm hoping to make a leaf bottle opener, a ring, and also a small knife forged as well. So it's going to be quite fun. So yeah, cheers to those that have joined the stream. Awesome to hear from you guys. Popping in and out, mate. That's exactly how the stream's going to go. Just jump in and then jump back out. Obviously you've got to do something and turn your phone off and then come back later. Welcome to hear from you guys. How's it going, Terrence? Awesome to have you in the stream, really. Yeah. By yourself, low key. Yeah, I mean, it can just be simple, really low key, really simple. Yeah, pretty good. So I'm gonna see how the steel is looking. What's the time over here? It is just gone 9 o'clock, 9:01. So it's 9 o'clock. So we're gonna be streaming till New Year's Day. I forget if we're in daylight savings. So if you're not in Brisbane in Australia, anywhere else, I think it's 2 hours ahead, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's coming very much into the evening now. It's gonna be good. So yeah, what temperature does your room get to with the forge cranking? I guess it's quite cool at the moment. I've got my roller door open at the moment. I'll just show you because I can. So I've got the workshop roller door over there. It doesn't get that much hotter. This forge is quite small and quite compact. So I'm running one of the I call them micro or baby burners from Gamaco, but just the smaller Gamaco burner, and I'm running a smaller compressor tank, which is probably, it's not that much bigger than an LPG, but it's just a bit smaller. I'll show you guys, just because a few of you have jumped in. So that's the forge just there. It's quite a small tank, and then running a small Gamaco burner as well. But they're quite good. I have a really big forge as well, which I use for all my Damascus and all my other works. But for the just heating mild steel and heating small sections, really good forge, and really highly recommended. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Any more comments? Not too bad. Lena's pretty much in all of them, so say hi to Lena because she's doing a really wonderful job. Hey? You can't get into Instagram, that's fine. As long as you're on the Facebook, it'll be fine. But only I can see Instagram. But yeah, Lena is on YouTube and on Facebook, answering your questions and asking me the questions. Hey? Yeah, talk to Lena, see how she's doing. But yeah, so thanks very much for hanging in on this evening's stream. I'm going to be making a J-hook, and if I've been repeating myself, I do apologize. But a J-hook is a very fun project to do. And that's what a J-hook looks like, very traditional forged object there, really nice. So hopefully going to be making one of these. I've got a leaf to make, I've got a bottle opener to make, I've got a ring and also a small knife to make as well. There's a cat outside, that's fine. I can see a cat. And see how the steel is looking, and I'm going to get my hammer and start forging. But yeah, it's going to be good. So cheers for streaming. Joining in on the stream. Gonna put my safety gear on, or if I put my safety gear. Feels like it's pretty hot. So my first step of this project is to do something called material isolation. It can also be called many other things. But the steel is in the fire, and I'm going to be using the square edge of the anvil and hammering on top of that square edge so that the hammer face is working one side on the anvil face and one side off the anvil. Kind of a half on, half off, or just striking the joint, or striking the edge. So we're going to be working on that, and that's going to basically make a small, narrow neck for the material. And I'm going to take my time drawing that out, getting that shape down, and that's what's going to give me that neck to the J. So this is the main objective for this evening's, or for this particular object, getting that down, and then I can make the leg. Then I can make this section and obviously chop it off and then punch some holes in there. So of that, just getting the neck done on a J-hook is really important, because it's very hard to edit that and make changes once you've already made these other two objects. So I'll get onto that now. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Let me know how you are going and how you're spending your evening stream. So your evening's New Year's Eve. So yeah, I got stream on the brain. So anyway. Okay, so hopefully you can see that okay. So I've gone and forged, it's quite hot, I've gone and forged on just two angles, two faces, and the front of the steel is quite thick still, but you can see it stops, and there's a gradual taper all the way along the stock. And the isolation of material is also, it isolates the heat as well. So when you're turning the steel and keeping very low contact between the anvil, because the anvil is quite cold, it keeps the heat in the stock, keeps the heat inside the steel, so you've got a longer time to work and a longer time to forge, which just means you can get more done in one heat, opposed to just keeping it on the anvil's face, which is cold, and it loses heat very quickly. So just doing lots of rotations, really important. So I'm going to put that back in the fire now, and you can yeah, keep watching. Alright. So yeah, thank you very much for those who have joined this evening's stream. Please let me know how your evening is going. I'd love to hear from you. Sitting on a hammer. yeah, so we're going to be streaming all till New Year's Day. It's going to be good. Then we're going to go to sleep. So yeah, it's going to be good. But yeah, let me know how your evening is going, and thank you very much for tuning in. Give me a second to make sure Instagram is good. I can only see Instagram, but Lena, my wonderful wife, is managing Facebook and Instagram, so we are streaming on 3 individual platforms, which is trying to target everyone, but also just trying to, try doing this. We haven't really done 3 different platforms all on one particular, I guess, one night and 3 different devices, but it seems to be working quite well. But yeah, let me know how your evening is going. Yeah, you might be with friends, you might be on your own, you might be just chilling out and having a chill time. Nothing wrong with a chill time at all. Yeah, if you're with friends, maybe you're with family, maybe you've gone and done a lot of traveling over this couple of weeks' time. Just having Christmas that's just passed, you may be over to see them. But yeah, let me know if you're having a good Christmas Eve, and hope you're enjoying it. My pizza steel's probably ready to go now. I'm going to have some water really quickly so I don't die of heat exhaustion, and go from there. So yeah, for this evening I'm going to be making a J hook. If you have just joined this evening's stream, a couple of projects planned over the course of the night to get done. One being a J hook, which will probably be the longest making project. Then I've got a leaf, I've got a bottle opener, and then a ring to make. So it's going to be quite fun. But yeah, love to hear how you're all doing. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Okay, so you can see I've stretched that neck out quite a lot. So that'll be this part to the J hook. That'll get bent round at a later stage. Needs to be rounded off. It's currently a square cross section with a taper, and then a very thick fat piece at the very end. But I'm hoping to get that a little bit more rounded. You kind of want to get the neck pretty much completed before you move on to other steps. Very hard to fix that at a later stage. So I'll get that neck done. I'm going to forge out a, I'm not going to do a leaf on the J hook. I might just make a slightly more cute looking ball right at the end. So I'm going to ball that and do something like that. Just because the J hook has the leaf bent round so that it doesn't have the spike going into your coat or whatever you're wearing. It's curved round. So I'm just going to put a ball at the very end of it and go from there. And yeah, thanks for joining in. yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for joining in this evening's stream. It's been pretty good so far. I think we're an hour and 10 minutes, so we've got another 3 hours to go, I think. So it's going to be good. But yeah, just a nice chill stream, just someone chilling out and doing stuff. We decided to do our chill out, really. My live stream on Instagram has ended. Oh no. Just gonna go live again. Facebook, what's going on? I'm just making sure everything's running. Okay, Instagram is back online. Cool. So I think Instagram you can only stream for an hour at a time, I think. So if Instagram cuts out, I'll try to do my best to get you back onto that stream platform again, so you can keep watching. If you're on your device, maybe just refreshing your Instagram just so you can see that I'm live again. But either of which will be good. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. So this evening I'm going to be making a J hook. It's currently in the forge at the moment. A leaf, a bottle opener, a ring hopefully, and also a knife. But lots to do this evening. And hopefully we'll get a bunch of projects down. But it's going to be good nonetheless. So I'm going to forge the steel now, and yeah, you guys sit tight. Okie dokie. Whoops, let me go down. So it's getting longer and longer. Quite good, but nice taper on that guy, which is looking good. Hopefully on this next heat, I'm going to take it from being a square cross section to hopefully octagonal, and once it's an octagon, I'm going to be taking it to round. And you really want to get this part pretty much perfect. Leave it alone, because it's very hard to make changes to the neck once you start forging the other two ends. So getting that done, but I'm on my third heat now, so I've got quite a bit of work done so far. I'm going to put that back in the fire now. And yeah, those who have already just jumped into the stream, or you've been hanging around since we started about an hour ago, hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Let me know how you're deciding to spend your Christmas Eve, your New Year's Eve. Obviously getting tired, but yeah, how are you spending your Christmas Eve? I'd love to hear how you're going, and yeah, be good. But yeah, I hope you're all having a nice evening. Making sure everyone's running good. Multiple devices. So our current stream situation is we have 3 mobile devices attached to I have little adhesive magnet strips attached to them, and then that's attached to a magnetic knife strip, and then we've got a bunch of wires hanging out of them to charge all the devices to keep them running over the stream. So very QB ingenuity, very exciting, but yeah, that is the plan. So yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful evening, and yeah, we're making a J-hook. You don't know what a J-hook is? That's what a J-hook looks like. We're making that one. This is probably going to be the hardest project out of all of them, and then I've got a leaf to make, I've got a bottle opener, a ring, and then a knife to make after that. But we've got all until New Year's Day, so it's going to be a fun stream. I'm also going to have some water so I don't get dehydrated. It's going to be good. I'm just going to wave to everyone who has joined the stream. How are you all doing? You going well? That's good. Love to hear how you're spending your evening tonight. Maybe with friends, maybe with family, and maybe with yourself on your own, which is also a good choice. Yeah, if you're on your own, you're pretty much with us. Like, so you're with friends or family, you know, depending on how you want to make it. But yeah, all right, I'm going to start forging again. Put my gear back on. Okay, so I managed to get that rounded a little bit more. Probably going to make sort of maybe a raindrop at the end of the sky, make it look quite cute. I may have to do a bit of file work and a bit of rasp work towards the base where the sort of thick piece of steel meets the thin area where the neck is, but we'll get that tidy. But you can, hopefully, it's quite hot, but you can see that a little bit clearer. It's a bit more rounded, so I want to keep rounding that off a little bit more. And yeah, that's really the hardest part of the J-hook, really. May have to get Lena to do a bit of striking work for me to get the holes pumped. Yeah?
My skirting sandals.
Yeah. Health and safety, man. It's gonna be good. Yeah, so I hope you're all, if you just joined the stream, thank you very much for joining in. Hope you're all having a good evening. What's going on, Sharpie? It's going well? How's your evening going? Quite good. Home alone, maybe? Maybe with friends? Maybe on your own? Maybe with Jess? On your own? Then find Jess. That was very rude. Going to eat something? Having some ham. I did a bit of a mad dash to the supermarket because it was very, very busy. So yeah. You can hear fireworks outside. Exciting. Alright, let's get some forging done. we're getting a little bit of a shape going on in the base of our, at the start of our J hook. So instead of a leaf, which is like this one, it's just going to be a little pod shape, and then that's going to be bent round. And towards the back of the material, I'm going to be forging that flat and punching some holes in it. And then once it's all been forged out, you've done each little job. It's a case of just bending the J hook with some pliers or using a hammer to bend it to shape, but pretty simple stuff. So I'll put it back in the fire and we'll start getting the rest of the material done. So yeah, thank you very much for joining this evening's stream. Rubbing my eye now. We have kids there to stay to stay up till midnight. Well, hopefully you'll be tuning in again this evening. It should be good. Rubbing my eye now. Micah and Kia say hi to Shea and Lena. Hi Kia and Micah, how are you doing? Find the biggest, most unstable ones. Ruining your life. Hi Matt. How's it going, Matt? Things are good. Probably drop that roller door soon. But yeah. So yeah, if you've just joined this evening's stream, thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to be, I'm not sure if we'll stop the stream and take a quick pizza break. I mean, you can just watch us eat pizza, which might be just torture for everyone. But yeah, it'd be quite funny. But we're going to be streaming up until midnight, so I think we're an hour and a half in so far. Let's have a look. Yeah, over half an hour and a half. So another 2.5 hours to go. It's going to be good. But I've got a bunch of projects to make for this evening. And Lena may give me a hand with some of them. Just a couple of two-man jobs, two-people jobs. To be politically correct for 2019. So yeah, it's going to be good. Will be a nightmare, definitely. Alright, back to some more forging. So, as you saw, I've chopped the material off, and I've also started squaring the base of the of where the S hook, the J hook, sorry, is going to sit. Pretty much forging this piece here. So I'm going to turn it sideways. It's going to be kind of a flat piece, and I also want to punch some holes in there as well. That's going to be fun as well. Put it back in the fire. Turn that down a little bit now. Yep. So yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. We are streaming on 3 different platforms at once, which is a very interesting one. We've never done it before. So, but yeah, thought for New Year's Eve we'll do a live stream. Yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful evening, and let me know how you're all doing. YouTube, how are you doing? If you have any questions, let me know. Keep the kids away from, well, keep them from whiskey and chocolate. Oh, whiskey chocolates, yeah. Yeah, the ones we gave them, yeah. We have your live stream on the TV in the lounge. Oh no, pressure's on. It's a big TV, big live stream. Very exciting live stream to be on. But yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. We thought it would just be a really random thing, just to chuck in a couple of, chuck a stream in for the evening. Obviously, if you're overseas and if you're tuning in from a different country, our New Year's Eve will be different to yours. But it is New Zealand time at the moment, and the current time is it is 9:32. So we've been streaming for about an hour and a half now. It's been pretty good. It's the longest time I've streamed. I was thinking the longest time I've ever streamed was 45 minutes. So this is already double that time, which I'm quite pleased with how well I've been running so far, and how nicely things have been running. But we've had a bunch of people come through the stream. It's been really nice. And yeah, I hope you're all having a nice time, really. And I think that was the whole consensus of it, was that we wanted to have a stream that people could just jump into, and then when they just thought they're getting bored, they'll jump back out of it, they can jump back into it at a later stage. But it'll be a 4-hour long stream, which will take quite a while, and hopefully I'll keep an eye on the devices as well, because as I've just found out that Instagram cuts itself out after 1 hour of streaming, so I'll just log back into another stream, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's just really relaxed. It's really nice. I hope you're all enjoying it. You are latecomers of the stream. Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
What are you making?
So I'm making a J hook for this evening. A J hook is a. I'll just show you. This is a J hook. So it's quite an interesting project. There's lots of techniques involved with making a J hook. So there's isolation of material and heat. There's also squaring, forming an octagonal cross section to a circular cross section, also flattening material, and also hot punching holes into the back of the material. So when you put a nail through these two holes here, you'll see the nails go through whatever you're hanging it up on, and then you can put your jacket or put your hat on after you've made it. So really, just a simple functionality tool. It's nothing too crazy, but it's a really fun project to get into making. And I didn't actually make this one, so blacksmith named Davidson made this one, which has just been loitering in my workshop since his last visit. And ideally, it's a pretty cool project to make. But yeah, I hope that answers the question, what am I making for this evening? I'm hoping to make a bunch of other projects this evening as well. I've got a leaf that I want to forge. I would like to make a bottle opener, a ring, and also perhaps a knife. But looking at my time schedule, I might be being a bit overzealous on the projects that I want to make, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. But yeah, if you've just joined the stream, I hope you're having a good evening. And let me know how you are going. I would love to hear from you guys. Okay, so that is where we are currently with the J-hook. So I've flattened out the back. The next job is to punch some holes in it. So I'm going to take a hole punch tool, which is this guy here, and drive a couple of holes while it's hot through the steel. This will be the point where my wonderful wife Lena is going to help hold the steel for me while we punch the holes. So yeah, she can do that for this evening. Okay, let's run you through it. Okay, so you're going to be taking this guy, who currently is stripped with the tongs. That's going to go in the fire.
Yeah.
What you want to do is come in here and grab that little pod.
Yeah.
And pretty much just come over this way and put it on the anvil pretty much like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold it.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No? Yeah?
Don't drop it on my feet.
Don't drop it on your feet, yeah, pretty much. So that is the plan. And then what I'm going to come around and do is use my hole punch and punch a hole through the steel. What I'll end up getting you to do is rotate the material over at one point so that I can punch.
If I'm still holding on.
If you're still holding on to it, you know, as you
I
do.
probably don't need these for the story.
Nah, you're fine. Just the face mask. We'll put it back in. The first thing I want to do is just make a little mark. You can put some gloves on as well. Sure. So yeah, if you've just tuned in, thank you very much for watching. We are going to be making a J-hook. My wonderful wife is going to be holding the steel for me while I use a hole punch to punch out little plugs and make the hole. So that is the plan, and yeah, it's going to be good. But we're going to be streaming pretty much till New Year's Day. So I hope you're all having a wonderful evening, and I'd love to hear how you guys are going. So yeah, let me know how things are doing. It's too small and hold. Okay, yeah, camera down. You should tilt the YouTube camera down so you can see the anvil. Okay, I'll do that now. Okay. That's a little bit too much. Okay, let me know how that goes. Because YouTube, yeah, you're right, YouTube can't really see it. That makes sense. Good thinking, Sharpie. Alright. Hopefully you'll be able to see that on YouTube's camera as well. The other two streams should be able to see it. But yeah, let me know how it goes. Yeah, those are the ones there. And just make sure that when you've got it, that it, yeah, it's not going to slip out the way you've got it. No, put it back in. You want the tongs like looking that way. This is like sort of turn it 90 degrees. Yeah, but you have to kind of pull it out. You might want to adjust your angle a bit. A little bit more. Because what can happen is, as soon as I put the force this way, it'll slip out of your tongs that way. So you want to have that guy on the top. Or, you know, either or. You know, best you can get in line. So give me a second. Get my stuff ready. Hole punch. Wherever I put my hole punch. Found it. Okay, ready? Just give me a second. first hole punched. Hopefully you can all see that. It's a little off center, but that's okay. So, we'll just do one more hole. And yeah, that is your involvement for this evening. So yeah, we're making a J hook. We're also punching holes into things, which is good. Terrible, but anyway. Yeah, but yeah, we're streaming pretty much till the end of the end of tonight, which is good. If you're overseas, obviously it'll be a different time for you. But yeah, I'd love to hear how your New Year's Eve is going. Maybe your New Year's Eve is already over and it's New Year's Day for you. But all the best, and yeah, I hope you're having a good evening. We decided to go live for you guys and do a stream. Technically, we're the first. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
The other way.
Yeah.
Like the day before.
So it's like the day before for most of you. So yeah, it's not even New Year's Eve for you guys. So I don't know why you've tuned in. So it's a bit strange, but whatever. Cool. Whatever. But yeah. Jeremy, do you want to be tagged in this video? You are tagged. You have been tagged. I don't know why you wanted a request on tags, but that's fine. Maybe. Okay, how's that looking? Yep, good to go. Alright, hole number 2. Supposed to go. One heat. Have we got space for a third one? Yeah, we'll put a third one in. You guys want a third hole in the J hook? That'd be good. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in this evening. They have the rainbow pants in it. Yeah. It's technically a sarong, so yeah. He's doing a little bit of blacksmithing. It's gonna be good. Whoopsies! I just flipped the camera. Sorry, guys. Go back again. Sweet. Cool. How's the battery life on all of our devices? Woo! They're looking good. They're looking good. My bad rap. Fashion. It's all about that fashion. It's the blacksmith fashion. It's actually the temper colors of your knife. Not quite? Put it in a bit further because you don't want to heat that hole again. Maybe give it a quick brush before you put it down. So yeah, thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you're having a good evening. We're going to be streaming till New Year's Day. It's going to be good. So we're probably about halfway there. What's the time? The time? Oh dear, what have I done? Oh no, not quite. So it's quarter to 10. Oh, okay. Just push it like one way really hard, it'll get it off here. Okay, hold time. So we may need another heat for this one. Yeah, that's okay. Plug it back in. We've run out of the heat on that one. But wire brushing is really good to clean the steel, otherwise you get the oxide forming too much. and it becomes a pain in the butt to get it off later. It becomes this big, hard, thick film that's really difficult to grind. Crazy projects lined up for 2019. Yes, of course. I really want to get into doing some more swords. No, no spoilers or anything, but a bunch more swords, hopefully. I'd love to offer some new types of classes, not just the knife making in Damascus, but maybe hammer making would be a really cool one for people, especially people in New Zealand that are wanting to get into blacksmithing and knife making. It'll be good, but we'll just see what the new year brings. And I don't know, it's been everyone's going, oh, this year isn't that great. And I think it really depends on how you view things. This is our first year of business, and it's been really good, so it just depends on what way you look at it. If the glass is half full or, half empty. Just going to wave to those who have joined. Yep, we're ready to go? Okay. Yep. Hole punch time. Just move that, yeah. Sorry. No, that's okay. Okay, turn it over. Put it back in. Put it back over there. I'll just try getting it out of here. I think it hit the ground there. Yay! Number 3 hole. So that is pretty much the holes for the J hook. What's really cool, hold it back up for the camera. What's really cool is that you can tell when a hole has been forged because it actually widens the hole out. So this was actually a completely parallel piece of stock, and obviously my holes are a little bit off center, but that's good. But the way you punched it has spread and bulged out that material. So not always drilling holes is the best option with a conventional drill bit, but drilling with a hole punch. Hole punching with a hole punch can help maximize your material quite well. But yeah, that can go back in the fire, and you have done your...
Is it going in this way?
Put it back in that way. I need to straighten that out a little bit. It's a bit bent. A bit bent and a bit wonky. We don't want it bent and wonky. Yeah, Braveheart sword, maybe. We'll see how we go. Thanks very much to Lena for doing the wonderful hole punch assisting. You may be required at a later stage this evening to do some more work, but she's going back to the computer to monitor the stream. So yeah. But yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful night. Yeah, it's coming quite late into the evening now, so I hope you're all having a good night. Let me know what you're up to. It's always good to hear what you're up to and see how things are going. If you have any New Year plans or aspirations, or not aspirations, but yeah, what you hope to achieve in the new year, let me know. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. But yeah, it doesn't have to be knife making related, it doesn't have to be related to the stream, but it could just be something you're planning on doing in the new year. It could be, I don't know, I don't mean to go with generic things, but maybe, you want to, save up to purchase something, or maybe you want to travel, or maybe you want to get into knife making, it'd be quite fun if you got into knife making. Either of which, it'll all be quite fun, but yeah, nonetheless, it's quite good. So yeah, just make sure we're keeping all the streams going, everything's going well. Good, nice. Alright, I'm going to straighten the steel. Good when you drop things. so I've just started bending the J-hook to a nice, clean 90-degree angle, which is quite good. It's a little bit, how do I do it? It's a bit canted. That needs to be straight with the curve itself, so I need to bend that back straight. What I might do is use the leg vice that's on my right over here, so I'll use that to just take that bend out and hopefully get that J-hook bent further out. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to probably take a break after I finish this guy. Just turn the forge off so we can all hear each other again. And yeah, jump on to a couple more knife making subjects. So stay tuned for that very soon. And yeah, if you've just joined this evening's stream, thank you very much for tuning in. We're hopefully doing a stream all the way till New Year's Day for us in New Zealand. It's currently, what, 5 to 10 maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're just about halfway, which is quite good. Been streaming for 2 hours, that's insane. I'm actually feeling pretty good about it. It's getting quite fun. There's people that have been jumping into the stream and you know, kind of earlier on, answering some really cool questions, and people I haven't heard from in a while, and then you know they've gone back out and they're doing their own thing, and we've got new people joining in. It's just such a nice sort of flow of people coming in and out of the stream, and they're coming in with new ideas and new questions and new things to suggest. Really cool. But yeah, hope you're all having a wonderful evening, and yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. So I'm going to straighten this guy. I'm going to move the leg vice over. So if you don't know what a leg vice is, it's basically a very, very thick vice that's great for clamping things down while you need to do a particular job. So my particular job is bending this back to straight again. I'm just going to basically bend this around like that. Super simple. And then put that guy back in the fire. But yeah, if you have just joined the stream, thanks very much for tuning in. I will be making a J-hook. If you don't know what a J-hook is, it's quite a tricky project to do. It's lots of techniques involved with making one. But that's basically a J-hook there. This one has a leaf at the very end of it, and the leaf, the point of the leaf has been curved all the way around. Very elegant looking design. I didn't actually make this one. This was made by Callum Davidson, blacksmith and knife maker. He's also based, well, he's currently in Wellington, New Zealand at the moment, but he's studying down in Canterbury or Christchurch, I believe. But yeah, really clever dude. Really, very clever dude. But yeah, that's a J-hook, and obviously a J-hook being the J shape that it has, pretty much what they're designed for. And they're for basically putting on or hooking your hat, I'm doing a jacket sort of animation there, but basically hooking your jacket on or putting your hat on the hook outside maybe the front door or inside the front door, whatever works. But yeah, gonna be forging all sorts. Okay. I'll be looking at a better charcoal made forge. Nice, cool. What, I mean, good question. I don't use charcoal forges anymore. I like gas a lot better, really, to be honest. It's just really efficient. You can have that thing ticking away, and it's wonderful. But yeah, coal. So what didn't work with your coal forge before, if you don't mind me asking, Charles? And you can yeah, let me know. I mean, a better forge, a bigger forge, a nicer forge. I don't know. Let me know. That'd be good. We saw nothing. Dropped it. Always good. Alright. J hook all the way, bent all the way around to 180 degrees so it forms that J shape, hence the name of the J hook. But I'm going to get that project done. I'll give it a nice sort of a black oil finish hopefully, and turn the forge off for a bit, and yeah, settle down and do a couple of questions and things like that. But just, yeah, and then jump on to the next project. But we'll see how we go. But yeah, if you have just joined in to this evening's stream, how's it going? Nice to hear from you. If you let me know how you're going. But yeah, it's good. How are we all doing? Hello Jess, how's it going? Hello? Amy, oh my gosh, there's so many people that have been in Forged and Feathers. Sorry, I haven't waved at you. I'm waving at you instead like this. Hello. So yeah. Alright. And yeah. Get this guy done. Get done. Okay, so that's how it's looking so far. J-hook is looking pretty good. Just about done. A few more projects to go, but I'm going to be taking a quick break and we'll take a chill. I've got a little bit of a bend in the back of the J-hook, so I just want to take one more heat to straighten that guy out, and then hopefully I'll be done. That'll be good. Also, if you're making very long, kind of wiggly objects in the forge, make sure that you can get it back in the forge for another reheat. So really, especially if you've got very narrow, small letterbox windows, or I've got a big hole on one side, but I was working on one project where I was doing big letters, and I was constantly having to think about the fact that I had to get it back into the fire, otherwise I'm going to have a hard time getting to the shape that I want. So that was a great learning curve for me to work that out. Very, very hard to do, but yeah, it's good to go. It's currently made from a disc plough welded to a car rim that has and has a problem. The charcoal falling off. Is it falling off of the plough itself? Have you not got enough wide enough base to pile the charcoal on so you can keep feeding that ember of fire? Maybe. Yeah, maybe a steeper angle, like Lena just suggested, having it on an angle so that things kind of self-feed. I've seen some really cool ideas, quite modern ideas, with blacksmith coal forges, where they're kind of self-feeding, and the guy actually got an idea from a self-feeding fireplace where you prop logs up, and you can keep letting the fire eat away at the logs without having to put another log on the fire. Quite a good idea, and maybe that could help towards your project. It would be good to do another collaboration to do leather, to expand my skills. That would be a wonderful project to do, Jess. I would love to do that. So yeah, Terence Turner is back on the stream. How's it going, Terence? Hope you are having a good evening. Lots. after, I'd say just under an hour of forging, my J-hook is complete. A little bit different to the one Callum made, but more or less the same. You can see the holes on the end. Also a really good idea, which I just thought of, is to have a slight bit of offset for the hook. Can be done. You don't want to do that. Okay, it gave me the offset I wanted to do. I won't joke, that was pretty bloody dangerous. But anyways, after that shenanigan, the J hook is complete. So yeah, looking pretty good. It will fly. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in some oil now. For a little bit. Have a little break should be good. It's going to burn this oil a little bit. This might set fire and be a bit smoky. We'll open the roller door if we have to.
That's okay. Fire's normal.
Fire is normal. Get in there. Alright, cool. So while that's smoking away, might just let it cool. Probably somewhere over here so I don't burn myself. But yeah, that's the J-hook. I'm going to take a really quick break and have something to eat really quickly. Might have some yogurt. Yeah, do you want to order it on your device? Because I can't on the phone. So yeah, gonna have me some yogurt with some plum. Good. Yeah, but if you've joined this evening's stream, thank you very much for tuning in. My first project is completed, finally, and I'm going to be making, I'll make the bottle opener, just to change it up. Bottle opener should be quite fun. But yeah, hope you're all having a good stream, good evening, and you're enjoying the stream. I hope so.
Michael wants you to make a mini knife.
Michael wants you to make a mini knife.
Like the one you made Matt.
The one that I made Matt. Which knife was that?
Kitchen knife.
The small knife that he has.
Yeah, like a small version of the small knife.
Oh right, okay. Like a miniature version of his knife, right. Can do that.
You?
Mm-hmm. Don't know when I can do it, but I can do that. But yeah.
Are you going to go and get it, or do you want to deliver it?
I can deliver it here, I think. I usually have card as an option when I do delivery, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's getting some food into me. We're just ordering some pizza, which is going to be good.
I might open the roller door back up again.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so yeah, thank you very much for tuning in this evening. I know I've said it a lot and you've probably been like, I'm sick of you saying it, but I'm not going to stop saying it. But it's really nice to have you tuning in. So yeah, there's a bunch of moths coming into the workshop now. That's fine. So we're pretty much going to be streaming all till New Year's Day if you're in New Zealand. I've got another 2 hours to go, which is going to be good. I want to forge a couple more projects, but my next thing, to get onto, questions that I want to get to is, what are your favourite knife makers or knife maker? Yeah, if you can put that down in the comments, that'd be nice. Maybe someone that you get inspiration from as a knife maker. Maybe you know them. Maybe you own one of that knife maker's knives. Let me know. But I have to say, I've got quite a few favourite knife makers, and that list keeps growing on me at the moment. But when I was about 16, when I got into doing this, I had one particular knife maker that I aspired to and wanted to be like. Obviously, there's lots, but yeah, his name was Bob Kramer, he's an American bladesmith. He's part of the ABS, the American Bladesmith Society. So yeah, he was it still is my hero. So he's quite a awesome cooking knife, chef's knife, knife maker, and he takes pride in his knives being made from carbon steel, which I do really appreciate as well. But yeah, Bob Kramer is such a cool knife maker, and you know he's got it down when it comes to his business. He's got a couple of oh, what? It's closed.
That's what it says.
Oh,
It
damn.
ain't Domino's ever closed.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Bob Kramer was my knife making hero at the time, and yeah, I'd love to hear what your favourite knife maker or makers is. It'd be nice to see who you take inspiration from, and you want to make knives like theirs, or not copy, but you know, you just get inspiration from them. It's quite good. So Mariko, yeah, he's cool. Heisenberg, yeah, he's awesome as well. Bob and the bro Anthony Borden meet on Raw Craft. Yeah, that was a cool video. It was quite a recent one before Anthony Bourdain, yeah, left us. But that's it was quite a good video because it had a lot more informative stuff that went with that video. I think, you know, Bourdain being a really awesome cook and chef. It was just, he added a bit more to the whole chef's knife thing that Bob Kramer did. So yeah, the Raw Craft series that Anthony Bourdain was doing was quite a good step in the right direction. I enjoyed his other video that he did where this company, I forget what the company's name now was, but they were a cast iron skillet making company. So they would basically take raw steel, melt it down, and cast them into these big, huge cast iron pots, which was such a cool project to do. And obviously they have a business in doing that as well. So that was really cool. But that was a cool video. But yeah, Bob Kramer, he's a cool one. Who else has put suggestions through? We are going to do some fireworks. Be back soon. Okay, have fun with the fireworks. Enjoy. Yeah, but favourite knife makers. You know, it's sort of, you know, jewelers, carvers, knife makers, blacksmiths. All these skills they all overlap at some point. So some knife makers were watchmakers, or they were blacksmiths, and some knife makers were jewelers. There's so many that are so broad but also specialized in their crafts and techniques. It's really good to see that in their work, especially when you've got makers such as Niels, for example. He's got some really good attention to detail, and it's pretty much like he makes swords, but they're jewellery on a large scale, and having that attention to something so accurate and monotonous, obviously is very repetitive to do as well, that type of work. Some things have to be done though, but yeah, it's really cool to see a lot of stuff from him. I'm trying to think of other knife makers. Obviously Richard Van Dyke in New Zealand, he's another really wonderfully gifted craftsman who started out as a jeweler, and I think he got into knife making in his mid-40s, I believe, but I need to double check that and ask him when I go down to see him soon. But yeah, lots of knife makers, and if you have a knife maker that is your favourite knife maker, I'd love to hear it from you guys. But yeah, put that down in the comment section below and let me know. And we'll hang on this subject for a little bit longer, and yeah, we'll go from there. Peter yes, Peter Burt is good. Um, what are good projects for beginners that cover good hammer techniques? Well, what I just made, a J hook, is quite a good one, really. I'll just show you what it looks like. Oops. So, getting some water now.
Close the door again.
You gonna close it?
Yeah, because our store's closed.
Yeah. So that's a J hook there that I forged just before I turned the forge off to have a break. But the J hook is quite a good base technique to learn, or base project to do. I'm going to make a bottle opener which actually does very similar techniques to this, but teaches a bit more control of making a ring and making the tab for the bottle opener. Quite interesting stuff. So nevertheless, I would recommend making a couple of these J hooks, and also making a hole punch to punch those holes through as well. This one is quite crudely done, and obviously done for the stream, so you guys can see how it's done. If I was making them on my own, I'd be probably a lot more attentive to detail than I am this evening, but it's just to show you the overall. It's not about detail. But yeah, how are we going? Kurt, Freehill Blades. Yeah, Freehill is awesome. He he was one of the Fortune Fire winners, I think, isn't he? From memory, he's quite a clever dude. Yeah, lots of them in America. Trying to think, what other knife makers? Jesus Hernandez is quite good. Also, I quite like. I'm a bit more old school on the knife makers, but I do like Walter Sorrells. He does some very wonderfully articulate, very dry sense of humor videos on YouTube. So if you haven't seen Walter Sorrells, he's fantastic. Obviously, David Gardell from Mad Dwarf Workshop in his day was a really wonderful bladesmith. His artworks are just as beautiful as the blades that he makes. Really cool stuff. Also his partner, when they were both at Mad Dwarf Workshop, I think they got really popular when they made the sword for the first Thor movie. That's really when their business started, which was really good. Instagram has just ended its stream. We're going to go back live again. We're on our next hour. Okay, we're back live again. Instagram, come on. Okay, Instagram's live again. Sorry, Instagram seems to cut out after an hour of streaming, so whatever. But yeah, so what was it saying? David Gardell, and there is also Andy Davis. That's who I was thinking of. Who's also very skilled craftsman at what he does. Also, he runs a company with I forget his name, but he runs Coal Iron Works now, and makes hydraulic forge presses, which is what I would like to hopefully own in the future, which would be quite fun. But we'll see how we go. But pretty much getting one of those presses will be a game changer for me. But yeah, other knife makers, I can't really think of many more, to be honest. There's some comments on YouTube that I'm missing. Sorry for. What did Dan say?
He's making knives. Did you finish the knife? You could tell earlier it would be rubbish, and I said no. You always break them.
Yeah, I broke a lot of knives.
And you continue to break a lot.
I continue to break a lot of knives. I think if you're making knives, you have to break a lot of knives. Like, people are like, how many knives have you made? And I'm like, probably like maybe 1,000 or a couple of thousand. And they're like, oh wow. They're like, well, how many have you ruined? I'm like, probably about 10 times that amount. And I've got these really big cardboard boxes at the bottom of my benches in my workshop, just opposite, that have many projects that didn't see completion. And that's how the game goes. And I think the more of those broken knives you have, the more you learn how to overcome those particular problems, and you get to learn a lot quicker, because if you make a lot of mistakes early on, you can learn from them, and then you can learn to make a better knife. And then that better knife might be for your customer, or maybe you have a client, someone who is wishing to obviously exchange money and payment for the object you're crafting, and that's really important. But having all those mistakes made previously, and then learnt from all of those, you can go into the project with a much deeper understanding, and obviously a much more confidence in going, yeah, I can make that for you, and yeah, I can I can do that. But I guess everyone's different. I'm pretty much self-taught. I made a knife at a course, and I was studying there, and basically they were like, "Cool, you're making an awesome knife," and I just kept making knives and making and breaking knives. So it's kind of a tricky one, really, but it just depends. Some people come into it with more knowledge. Some people were blacksmiths. Some people were other makers before they got into this. It was pretty much the first skill I got to learn. I got to do a little bit of jewellery about 6 months before I did knife making. That helped me do a lot more attentive detail work. Obviously, made me learn working with non-ferrous metals such as gold and silver. Also learning that there's much higher stakes to work with gold and silver. I mean, when you break a knife, I mean, you paid $60, $70 for that piece of steel if it's a really good, high quality piece of steel. But if you make a mistake in gold, it's going to cost you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars to remake, and getting that money back out again, or having to recuperate that money somehow is a very tricky thing to do. A few good smiths on the Australian blacksmith page. There's so many. There's heaps of them. Yeah, I'm part of that group as well. There's some really good smiths in the Australian bladesmiths and blacksmiths, or I forgot what the name of the group is, but I think there's like maybe 22,000 dudes there. 22,000. Maybe there's not that many. Maybe 7,000. There's another page overseas called Blacksmithing for Beginners. That has a lot of people in it as well. So that's quite a good group. But if you are in New Zealand, there is a wonderful group called New Zealand Knives, which you don't have to be a knife maker for. You can just be interested in knives, or you may use knives. Yeah, it's basically a group for everyone. So you don't have to have made a knife before. You can post on there once you've made a knife. But it's a really friendly group, quite a small group, and very it's just lots of really helpful people, really friendly guys. But yeah, if you are in New Zealand, and clicking on that, if you are in New Zealand, you want to do knife making, jump into that group. It's quite good. We might put the link to the group in the comment section below, so you can have a look at that. That might be a good idea. And then there's another one, New Zealand Blacksmiths, which is quite a popular page. And then there's a New Zealand Knife Makers and Bladesmiths one. So there's a couple of groups already in New Zealand with a couple of hundred people in the group. No, you can't share it on Instagram. That's fine. I can't share it through. Yeah, just Google it. If you're on Instagram, jump onto Facebook if you're on. You should have Facebook if you have Instagram, but if you don't, that's fine. Yeah, New Zealand Knives is a really good knife making group, so would highly recommend. But yeah, that's the J hook pretty much done. I'm just taking a bit of a rest now. At the moment, taking a quick break. So I'm going to go and do a casual Q&A now. So kind of not knife making related, but if you guys have any questions to ask, they can be knife making related, but no, they're not really subject specific. But if you have a question to ask, ask away. Yeah, fire away. Ready? Rest it for the week. Rest is for the week. Well, I usually say go hard or go home. Basically, that's quite a good one. Okay, so the group's been shared. I just jumped into a accidental messenger conversation. Whoopsies. Okay, that's fine. So we've been streaming for 2 hours now. So we've got 2 more to go. It's quite good. But yeah, I'm just having some yogurt at the moment. It's about 10 o'clock New Zealand time. I'm just glad you guys are watching still. It's quite good. Any Q&As? Any questions you have to ask? Play with much stainless steel sanmai. I actually did a really bad job of some stainless steel sanmai probably about 4 or 5 years ago. and then I basically went, I'm not going to do that again. There's no point. And I was still quite young. I think I was about 17 when I was doing it. Well, 18. No, 18. So I was very, very narrow-minded at the time. I'm not going to do stainless. I don't want to do stainless. There's no point. You know, only carbon steel. But decided to pick up the project earlier last year. I think mid last year, and learn to forge weld slightly martensitic steel with austenizing steel. So mixing some 308, 306, 304, 300 grade stainless steel with some 400 grade to basically add as cladding material to then clad or sand my to a tool steel, stainless tool steel. So I've been experimenting with that. I've been doing it with some 12C27, which sticks really well. But I do suffer the loss of carbon migration and also carbon loss through that process, and 12C27 being quite a low carbon steel to start with. I think it has maybe 0.6% carbon or 0.7. You really can't get the best heat treat out of the knife, so that's what I've been working with lately, and I'm getting subpar, I mean completely forge welded stainless steel, but the subpar results. So I'm hopefully looking to achieve better results than my carbon steel knives, so that I can what's going on there? So I can yeah, just get a bit further on my learning, and yeah, have stainless steel Damascus knives or plated knives. So I hope that answers the question. But yeah, got any more questions? Is stainless steel better than ordinary steel for jewellery? Well, it depends on if you're talking about stainless Damascus steel or stainless carbon steel. Stainless carbon steel. Stainless Damascus steel or carbon Damascus steel. Getting confused with my words already. Blah, blah.
You haven't even had any cider.
I know, right? I haven't even had anything. So, it will rust, especially if you've got someone who has nickel allergies, things like that. So when I was making my first couple of rings, obviously, yeah, I just make rings out of carbon steel offcuts. I still sometimes do that and present the fact that to my clients that it will rust if they, and it can react with their skin if they have a nickel allergy. I generally ask a lot of these questions early on in the project before they find out that it rusts on their finger, and then they're unhappy and then they want the knife back. Simple stuff like that, really. But yeah, stainless Damascus is better for jewellery. It's superb. It's really easy to file, nice to normalize. Gives you quite a nice etch. It's a little bit tricky to etch though, I have to say. It doesn't etch under normal circumstances, and it depends on what stainless steels you use in the mix as well. But it's quite tricky stuff to work with. So yeah, stainless Damascus, stainless Damascus, stainless clad carbon. Lol. I want to give carbon clad stainless a go in 2019. Totally, just do it. Grab some. You can get Jacob. You can get 416, I think, grade stainless steel in bars. You might be able to get it from like a company called Fletcher Steel. Maybe United Steel will have it, or Steel and Tube, Wellington. But 416 really welds wonderfully to steels such as SUP 9 or 5160, 52-100. And obviously it will forge to other stainless steels if you get it hot enough. But yeah, I think Mert Tansu does the most popular with those clads. He also, I think, now buys that material already pre-cladded. Obviously you don't have that inconsistency that you're making the material. You just buy the cladded material and then forge the knife from there. You still have to think about core alignment, which is the most important thing for Sanmai blades. If you get your core slightly out of aligned, it's going to be a pain in the butt to work, and you're also going to have a hard time getting the, you're going to do a lot of grinding really, so that's basically the main thing. So core alignment is key with Sanmai. Yeah. I see your question has dropped off. Hang on.
So he said, how do you blacken steel like helmets, etc.?
Is that gunner?
Yeah.
How do you?
So like oil versus
Well-
chemicals, like because there's two ways.
Well, there's lots of ways you can do it. Obviously, there's a traditional way of heating it and applying oil. You only need to heat it to about maybe 350 degrees, 400 degrees, and get an oil-soaked rag and basically start rubbing it on, and that's going to burn the oil and create like a stain-proof film that's on the steel. So that's a traditional way of doing it. You can also anodize it, which gives you that really nice black color, but is also quite easy to scratch. So if you had a tool, if you have a file, it'll scratch quite quickly. I find the oil gives you kind of a rubbery texture on it, which is a little bit more scratch resistant. You can also do powder coating, which is probably the most durable out of all of them, but does cost quite a bit. So if you're thinking about helmets and armor, I would say doing either the oil or the powder coating technique. Anodizing it would be quite hard. Now you usually dip it in a solution, and you need a electrical current to form that film on the metal base itself, or whatever workpiece that you've got. So I hope that kind of answers the question really.
Could you maybe describe how you would do that to a helmet? Because you'd use a torch, wouldn't you?
You could use a gas torch if you had a big butane torch, or maybe they're called like a blowtorch or a pig debristler, but one of those big kind of roaring torches with quite a bushy flame. You can use one of those to heat up the helmet to about 400 degrees. You can also put it in your oven at home if you are allowed to do that. You could also make a small.
If your partner lets you.
Your partner lets you, Can I just put my armor into the? I mean, if you've got a partner that's patient with you making armor, I mean, I don't know where the boundaries are quite yet. That could be a discussion for another day. Nonetheless, So back to the subject at hand. The fact is, you can probably just put it in a fire outside and let it cook away for a little while, and then maybe get some like metal sticks to pull it out, and you can apply the oil that way, which is quite a good way of doing it.
Use a basting brush.
Yeah, you can use any brush or a cloth with a stick on it, just something that you can apply that evenly. Any of them will work quite well. But I hope that answers your question. I'll have a look out for it in Fletcher's in Hamilton. There's a Fletcher's in Hamilton. I think there's a Steel and Tube in Hamilton, but I'm not sure. But they do ship worldwide. But if you ask for, I'd say 5 or 6 mil flat stock for 416 steel, that would be the best way to do it. And then clad that with something like Sutton 9 if you were curious about it. But you have to get things really high temperature wise. So if you think about if you've done any kind of forge welding before, Jacob, just do it times 10. Like soak times 10, all of that times 10, because that's pretty much how hard it is to make. Like I've got my big Damascus steel forge going absolutely as hot as it can go, and I still have slight delaminations in places with my stainless steel clads that I do. So it's really a time-consuming job to do, and you have to make sure your surfaces are clean but also very polished, because stainless steels don't weld very well, forge weld very well. When they've got scratches in the material, it can be a bit problematic. So polished steel, super clean, pretty much like you do normal Damascus really, but just clean, tidy finishes, yeah. I bet it smells tasty. It smells amazing. It smells like fish and chips. It's great.
Not sweaty leather.
Oh, sweaty leather, no. So you're talking about the oil. No, you're not. You're talking about leather. Sweaty leather. Doesn't smell amazing. It smells alternative. Yeah. Prepared for failure. Tell me about it. Cool. Any other questions before we jump on to another subject? What was the subject I had planned? As a casual Q&A, that's what I was going to do.
What's the silliest thing you've ever done in knife making?
Oh, I know this one. So, Lena knows this story as well. I had a very interesting commission to do for a friend. It was actually a Damascus cladded knife. It was for a guy that I was trading a lot of deer antler for. And it all worked really well. Like the heat treat worked well, and it was really awesome. And I was up to the stage. I probably didn't normalize it properly. There's all sorts of other things that would have gone into that. But regardless, Yeah, so I was doing the tempering. I put it in the oven, and I was tempering it at about 220 degrees Celsius or something. This is in our flat. I'd say probably about 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, a while ago. So I was tempering the knife, but I forgot that I left the oven on, so I basically tempered pretty much overnight. When you temper a knife in the oven, you're wanting that nice straw yellow color, or so I was wanting to get at the time. I pulled the knife out. I realized how hot it was the following morning, and I'm like, man, it's hot. And I basically woke up to the fact that we had left the oven on at 210 degrees. I don't know if this was in winter. Maybe I just didn't find out about it, but that's definitely the silliest thing I've done. But I pulled it out, and it was like this bright teal blue color. And I got a file, and it bit into every little part of the cutting edge. So I had to go through and re-harden and reheat treat that knife. And that was due for a customer like the following week. So yeah, that's the silliest thing I've done. And it's such a very newbie thing to do. And I just left the oven on, which is just a stupid thing to do. Yeah, that is it. That is the stupidest thing I have done in knife making, is left it in the oven overnight to do a really nice toasty oven temper. So yeah, but I hope that helps. Yeah, oops. Oops was not the first word that came out of my mouth actually. Yeah, oops was pretty funny. Yeah, so at least it didn't break. No, it didn't break. Yeah, share away your stupidest. I mean, this is casual Q&A, so share away your stupidest mistake, or the one you feel is the stupidest mistake you've made so far in knife making or blacksmithing. I'm happy to hear it. Alright. Yeah, so tell me your stupidest failure. If you're on YouTube, please let me know what your stupidest knife making thing you've done, or blacksmithing thing, or maybe just it's a casual Q&A, so it could be just the stupidest thing that you've done in general. We may as well go to that kind of broad element. So yeah. What's that noise coming? Yeah, if you have a video of it, that'd be awesome. That would be amazing. Yeah. What is the stupidest thing you have done for a long time? Or just recently? I just dropped my last knife tip first into the floor the day after I finished it. Yeah, that's... Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I dropped my finished knife that I was sending to a gallery at Expressions in Wellington during submission day onto a concrete floor, and it scratched all the silver work and all the Damascus blade, and it's a pain in the butt, I know. Yeah, that's a doozy. Well done. Don't do that one again. So I was asked in Cambridge, okay, and nice nice stainless tube. Oh my god, hang on. So it was compressed, yeah. Heat pressure build up for it to escape. Yeah, air is, it does that. I've done that for a canister Damascus, and I forgot to put something that would burn inside. It was like a square tube, and basically I was busy forging away at like a crazy time at night. And I was just forging away, and I just heard this giant explosion come from the forge. I'm like, oh my god, the forge is blowing up. It's gonna kill everyone. And no, what I had found is that the canister inside the Damascus had pressurized so much that it wasn't square tube anymore. It was like completely cylindrical. It was round. It had like this seam in it, and that's where all the air escaped, and it had completely just exploded. But it sounds very similar to your stainless steel tube thing. But yeah, stupidest thing you've done knife making wise. Love to hear your suggestions. But yeah, stupidest thing. Needless to say, it's getting reprofiled after New Year's. Cool. It's just getting reprofiled after New Year's. No matter when they want it, just get it reprofiled. Yeah, I think dropping the tip of a knife, it's just like, it can happen. You get so like precious, like taking the knife around, like, ugh, I've just finished on 1,000 grit, don't drop it on the workshop floor, things like that. I find,
It's sad.
sorry?
It's sad.
You get sad, yeah, it's very saddening and very disappointing, but you also get the, the ones where you just have it on the workshop bench, and I find I just clear everything off the workshop bench that is gonna scratch the material, especially when it's wood or silver or bronze. Bronze is a big one. I always scratch my fittings and guards. It's an absolute pain in the butt when you are working on a knife and you just scratch it because there was like that file sitting on the bench underneath, and now you have to go back through all the grits to get it out. So that's a pain in the butt, but nonetheless, stupidest thing you've done knife making. Love to hear it, and obviously it's always changing. It's always going to be different, and you're always going to do something stupid the following day. I hope I don't do anything too stupid in the near future, but you never know. But yeah, my stupidest one was leaving it in the oven overnight to temper, nice toasty temper. It was like a teal blue colour when it came out, and it was just soft as anything. And that just couldn't go to the customer, so I had to heat treat it. And I think the hardest part about that was that I didn't have enough time to finish the knife, I didn't have enough time to make the knife again. I just had to get it finished. And when I did it again and heat treated it, it had like a little bit of wobble in it and a little bit of a, it just didn't look that nice. Like it was so nice the first time, and I was just absolutely gutted that I was gutted that, yeah, it just bent and warped and changed shape on the second heat treat. But that's Damascus core cladding for you. It's notorious for warping. Normalize that stuff. I don't think I normalized that other one. I think I just did an anneal. But you know, at the time I didn't know what I was doing, so I still don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, but we'll jump on to this evening's following subject. Next subject is upcoming projects. What have you got planned in the new year that you want to do? Maybe something completely different. We will keep this knife making specific, but yeah, if you've got knife making projects that you want to do, or different projects, I'd love to hear what your projects are. So that'd be good. So yeah. Already having a bad day, just threw them over my shoulder, went to bed, sulked. Yeah, it's good. You just end the day like that, and I mean, there's no point continuing work. You just throw it, you know. When I have a knife that doesn't work out for me, I just snap them. It's great. Then you have this great satisfaction of just being so attached to this object you've put probably about 18 to 25 hours into, maybe days into, and you snap it and become completely detached from it. It's great therapy, but you get completely detached from the project entirely because it's broken. And yeah, I find that's a really good way of doing it. So I just break things more purposely. It's good. But yeah, yeah. What am I doing? Got a message. I just opened your messenger by accident. Sorry. I've been asked by a workmate to make a hunting knife with deer antler handle. Will be a new one for me. Deer antler's a cool material. It's just drilling out all that porous stuff inside, really, and either filling it up with resin of sorts. Some people use like a slow curing resin, which helps make the material kind of sink in a bit more into the porous material. So you just get a slightly more full handle. Other people just bore out enough to get epoxy in, but either of which will work really well. I do like deer antler material, and I have got quite a lot of it at here at my workshop. But yeah, sounds like a fun one. Nice commission to roll into the new year, really. Be quite good. And I'm getting messages, so I'm just gonna quickly put those aside, super quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, it's not working. Cool. yeah, building a forge would be good. Honestly, get a Gameco burner, and if you've got access to a welder, and maybe a friend who has a welder, get a couple of people into the project. Maybe give them a couple of drinks or something to, but just honestly, it's going to cost you about $300. If you end up making a forge from recycled parts, gas fittings, it's going to cost you a lot more money, and it may not work, which ends up going down the toilet project-wise, and you can't get into making more stuff. You end up buying or trying to fix your forge to then make stuff, and then you end up using more gas, and it's just a pain in the butt. So I really don't recommend making forges. I don't make them anymore. I make the bodies of the forges, but I'm talking about making the burners themselves. Just don't bother. It's a pain in the butt. I really just dislike it immensely, really. Yeah. Whoops, continue. Right. Well, in this case, okay, cool. I'm just reading old comments by accident, sorry. If you have a burner for free and you have that forge you said I could buy off you. Yeah, well, I actually do have the shell there if you do want it. I don't use it anymore. I have that new forge, but I still have the, you'll still have to fit a burner to it. But you just have to buy one of those small Gameco burners. So I think they're $127. And then whatever I'm wanting for it. But you've got a burner? Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry. The comments are just going. I'm like, trying to keep track. But you've got a burner, Joyce. Hit me up. Probably not now, but soon, maybe on a different day, about the forge shell. And yeah, I can organise shipping that for you. But yeah, see how you go. But yeah. Any other projects that we're wanting to make by the end of the day? Oh, you did, but I never gave you a price. I do apologize about that. I'll have to message you again soon. I get very busy. Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, I'm opening the wrong thing. Shivers, no. Okay, I'm back now. Right. Cool. But yeah, the rum has not defeated me yet. You can do it, AJ. It will defeat you. It will. No. When the rum's gone. Other upcoming projects. I'd love to hear from you guys. What other projects would you like to do? Maybe you'd like to get into more blacksmithing. Do different knife shapes. I find it sometimes quite hard to get into it. When you find a thing you really like, you end up kind of going, no, I just want to do this. I want to do this. And then you're like, but you get a customer or someone going, oh, do you do this? And you're like, oh, I don't know. I think that's always a good opportunity to start making some of those shapes or those things that you didn't want to do or that you're not comfortable with. So getting out of that comfort zone and just making something and of that genre or shape or design that puts you out of that comfort zone only helps broaden what you can achieve at a later stage when you do get a customer asking you, can you make that? And you're like, well, yeah, I made 6 of them the other day. The first one looked really bad, but number 6 looks choice. Here's a photo. They're like, oh, could I have that? It's like, yeah, it's all done. It could just be as easy as that. So never underestimate the fact that you put your time out there in a place that you are uncomfortable. It may come back on you at a later stage. Yeah. Another project I've planned is a heat treating oven, maybe. True. That's kind of out of my comfort zone, which I probably should get into doing more heat treat oven stuff, which I do want to. I've got an oven, but it's quite a manual one, so I have to basically monitor the ramp schedule, and I have a couple of schedules that I've got written down, but you basically have to tweak it at that time and then turn it back and monitor it like a robot, opposed to obviously having an ECU that runs it for you, or not an ECU, but a controller. An Elecfern or whatever branded controller, but something like that would be quite cool. I do want to do a few more kiln-based heat treat things. I think building a kiln and buying one, I mean, it's sort of another thing. Like, do you just buy one? I don't know. Like, it's always a hard one, but I haven't really gotten into that. So yeah. Anyway, Happy New Year, guys. I'm gonna do Netflix and sleep. Fair enough. We're going to go to sleep after we've done the stream, but we're going to hang in there all the way through. PID controller, that's what they are. But I think most companies, there's a company in New Zealand called Elecfern that makes some really good ones. They've got good thermocouples and things. There's also another couple of companies I can't think of right now. But yeah, take it easy, gonna have a good evening. Have a good sleep. What else? But yeah, just other upcoming projects. What other upcoming projects do I want to do? I want to do the stainless. I want to do a few more swords. I want to obviously offer more classes. They're all kind of projects, but going in the business in a different way of doing things. I do want to get into a lot more carving, which would be quite fun. Even though I hate it, I want to have patience for carving. I know. I mean, I'm not that good at carving, so I'm always just really crap at it. But I guess putting myself out of my comfort zone and getting into some carving, which would be quite fun. Got some videos planned for that in the new year as well, but we'll see. Just this year's been absolutely insane with classes, and obviously we're going to jump into new year classes pretty intensely, because I'm going to be teaching at Workspace Studios in Christchurch end of January. And I'm also going to be teaching pretty much from January till the 16th in the beginning of January, and that's back-to-back day across day classes. So that's going to be really tiring. And then February will be kind of a normal class schedule after that. But we'll see how we go. It's going to be pretty exhausting. But it'll be good. I'll be doing lots of different things that I've not really done before. It'll be quite awesome. So, yeah. I can't sneak the cost of buying a new one past the missus. Or, you you might be able to. No, I'm joking. This is true. Sneaking past the price of a new one to the missus is always a thing. I'm still convincing Lena that $8,000 for a press is cheap. So, we'll get there. But, yeah. Come carve some stone. I totally want to. I haven't forgotten about our video project that we're going to be doing. I don't know when we're doing that, but that'll be really fun, Terence. So I can't wait. But I've got the scales in mid-production. I was thinking about doing just normal scales, but now I'm thinking, like fair pattern scales. I don't know. It'd be crazy. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, feather pattern scales. Be awesome. So, that'll be fun. But yeah, I'll message you later on about doing some cool scales, Terence. Be good. It is cheap. It is cheap. Do it. Yes, this is true. Coline Works press is what I want though. So I want to buy a proper one, nice, proper made one. I would like to build a press, but because I run classes and obviously I'm charging money for people to people about things are working. Obviously, I've got machines. If things break down that I built, I would be very disappointed in myself that it didn't work very well. Obviously, testing it before you run classes to run it, but of whatever, I would like to probably purchase one brand new, so I don't have any of those problems. It kind of goes back to the whole building a forge thing and how I'm very against making forge burners. So not forges themselves, they're good because they're just fire brick and kale wool and steel. But making making a press would be very tricky to do, and I would like to invest time into it, but I can't close my workshop down currently as well and just start building a press and then putting all that time into it and finding out that it's okay and it's not bad and it probably cost me about X amount to make, but I could just buy one. But you may have a different belief on it and you may have a different thing, but my situation and circumstances are a little different. Hashtag bad influence. Righto. Sweet. We lead a wild life. What are you and AJ talking about?
Drunk Scrabble.
Oh, drunk Scrabble. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Couldn't get past 5 letters. But
Yeah, 2 syllables, That's pretty much it. Oh, that'd be good. So yeah, but if that's closed on upcoming projects, then that's fine. Yeah, I've got a couple of things in mind. I want to make a few fun things, but we'll see how we go. Um, I guess the next one is what kind of keeps you guys, what keeps you motivated when you're working? What helps get you through that daily, quote unquote grind through that day when you're working? It doesn't have to be knife making related. It could be in your other job or other things that you're doing. It could be hobbies. It could be not hobbies. It could just be anything that you do in the day that's quite repetitive and monotonous. Polishing steel would be a good one. I don't like that at all. I mean, I do like it, but I don't like it as well. So it just depends on what you do. I don't like carving fittings to go on hidden tang knives. I really just like doing it. Getting that perfect fit has to be a perfect fit for me. If it's anything but a perfect fit, when I have that brass slide onto the tang, it goes in the bin. So it's very, yeah, very very tricky. But yeah, I just like doing brass fittings on full tang knives. That's probably one of the most annoying things I do. But what helps keep me motivated is I like to play a lot of music, which I actually was going to be playing some music soon. I should probably play some soon. It might get a bit too noisy, so if the music's getting annoying, I'll just sort of switch it off. But playing music's really good. Yeah, just let my mood dictate what work I get done. So sometimes, I mean, it's not the most efficient, but I find that I make less mistakes when I don't plan for anything. So when I'm like, oh, I might just make a knife that just came into my head. And a lot of my designs when I make a knife, I don't really design them. I just draw them up, and that's how they go. And I find just working with the flow of my mood or my way of working helps me get through my projects more than doing a design and it doesn't work to that design. And this is completely different when I have a commission to do, when I have a project that someone is paying me money to do. Obviously the parameters are specific and the design is specific, but when it comes to just the knives that I just make them with no intent on design. They just work. So yeah, and if they don't work, I snap them really. So what can you spell with? Oh god. Good game, AJ. Good luck. Hey everyone. Everyone's on Facebook stream. I was the loner on Instagram. Yeah. So for those that don't know, Backyard Workshop is Jared. But yeah, he was just on Instagram, just on his own, commenting. Hey, how's it going? And then yeah, AJ's on the other one. So you guys have found each other. It's good. But yeah, what was it? Music keeps me motivated, and just being in a good mood, which is sometimes very hard to get into, and sometimes the mood can just change so quick as well. So I find when I'm working on my own work, I just work according to how I feel. Which is it probably doesn't help very much for you guys or for anyone else, but just making it happen, I think is easier than planning for it to happen. But yeah, okay. So my next subject that I have written down is your favorite steel if you're a knife maker, or if you're a cook, or you have a knife that's made of a particular steel. Please let me know what your favorite steel is to work. And it may not be a knife, it could be a hammerhead, it could be a type of steel for hammers, it could be steel for axes. But out of your experience, what is your favorite steel to work with? I'm very curious to hear what you have put out there. But I'm just going to get a quick drink while you're putting some suggestions out there very quickly. And yeah. Okay, open the caffeine. Put me a V tonight. Okay. AJ, are those I's or L's? It's like I's. Doesn't
Nothing.
hang on. Doesn't Richard Van Dyke have a, isn't it Hoi Ho Forge or something like that? You might have enough
No, he's only got one H.
he's only got one H. Okay, well that's all over then. But I was just thinking about how many I's and O's are put in one place in a name called something Forge. So pretty funny. But yeah, favourite steel, if you have one. Don't work with in steel, but have a knife that's made of a particular type of steel, let me know. I'd love to hear how. AJ Ho. Oh my gosh. Hi. Yeah, okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. Getting late into the night now. It's just about 11 o'clock. We're very close to New Year's Day. We're an hour away. I'm very tempted to start making another project soon. I might just make a bottle opener for the next project, but I'll see how I go. I'm just pacing myself through the stream. 3 hours now. It's been pretty long, but just getting the caffeine out now. Hi Jess, how's it going? Heidi Ho Forge. That'd be a good one. Yeah, so favorite steel to work with. Could be a knife that you have, could be anything. If you don't work in steel, then this question may not be for you. But, I find I like working in carbon steels a lot now, more than I used to. I used to just use whatever carbon steel was available to me back when I was just learning about what did what and heat treat. But I find when you're working with carbon steels, it's more about the heat treatment than anything, and you can get some decent hardnesses, decent hardness out of a knife, such as 1080 steel. It's just depends on the quench, depends on edge geometry, depends on so many things really. I find, yeah, like 1084 or the stuff you buy from Gamico is still such good stuff, and yeah, it's just very good material to work with. I find I'm always learning to do more with that steel. The more you invest in it, the more you end up, finding out the perks and the flaws and all these new things about the material. Not just the the fact that it's 1080 and it can rust easily and it's only got like 0.8% carbon and it's basic steel that noobs use, and it's like, no, it's about the effects you can get out of it, and the not effects but the just the qualities you can get out of steel. So yeah. The youths. The youths. What's the doof doof? What's that?
Face.
Oh right, yeah. I was like doof doof. Oh yeah. No, not the doof doof. This is actually just silent here at the workshop at the moment. It's really quite nice. Doof doof. That's awesome. Yeah. Katie has done enough fist shaking for the both of us. Fist shaking. Just need like someone to take the power out, take out the electricity. That's how you do it.
In their cars,
Hey?
probably in their cars.
Oh, if it's in their cars, just call the police or something. Get out of here. Police are probably really busy at the moment. It's probably like Christmas time for them. Like they don't get to Christmas time and then it's Christmas time. Got 19 tickets on New Year's Eve. Yeah, they're just cashing it in. I don't know. But they all, I assume, work incredibly hard on an evening like this, keeping people at bay and stop people
Just noise
being
control generally.
just noise control. Yeah. I'm sure our place will be the same when we get home. Probably, yeah.
It is me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking, like, when we get home, it's gonna be doof doof. It's gonna be lots of doof doof.
And they won't be able to spell doof.
But yeah. If you've got those letters, AJ, if you're still on the stream, doof doof. 8 letters. It is an amp. Amplifier. Doof doof. Yeah, so anyway, the steels anyway, it's just another kind of random question really. But yeah, thanks for joining this evening stream and having the time. Obviously, you're checking things out at this godly hour of the day, and it's nice to have you tuning in. But my next topic for this evening is tell us a little bit about yourselves. And this is kind of quite broad and not very specific, but you're welcome to say who you are, which is cool, where you live. You don't have to be giving our addresses on a public stream. That's very, very unsafe. So just the general vicinity is totally fine. And what you like to do and make. Doesn't have to be knife making. What you like to do, you may be an accountant, you may be a number cruncher of all of those kind of jobs, but you can do anything. So yeah, who are you? Where do you live? Sounds really bad, sorry. But who are you? Where do you live? And what do you do? Does not sound stalkerish at all. But yeah, casual question time. Simon, I think your knives rock. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm getting there. Getting there. Hewitt. That is where you live, AJ. I am Hewitt, and I live in Hewitt, and I do Hewitt. That is a good one. But yeah, who are you? What do you do? Sorry, and where do you live? Where do you live, and what do you do? What about you, Lena? Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah, who are you?
You want me to sit over there?
No, you don't have to. You could if you want, if you're bored.
I'm bored.
If you're bored.
I'll bring a laptop with me so I can keep talking about Drunk Scrabble.
Drunk Scrabble, yeah. Yeah, who are you? Where do you live? Very stalkerish. And what do you do?
What do
Maybe you do something you don't like. Maybe what you want to do. What do you want to do? I want to bungee jump. You know, it's like, yeah.
For a living. I want to get paid.
For a living. I want to bungee jump and play Drunk Scrabble at the same time. You know, things like that would be quite fun. So Lena is here. I have to go to the bathroom very quickly. So Lena's going to be keeping the stream entertained.
That's the real reason.
That's the real reason. So I'm sorry I have to go for a toilet break after 3 hours of streaming straight.
What a surprise.
What a surprise, I know. I think the forge has dehydrated me, so that's been keeping things at bay. But yeah, Lena can introduce herself.
Assume the position.
Assume the position of knife making Lena. She's busy with a cider. I'm gonna go bathroom. Cider. Okay.
Tonight we're drinking Orchard Thieves apple cider. I can't read the screens. And Jared is lab tech attempted photographer. That sounds really interesting. I am an artist attempted. What's my new job? I have a new job starting in 3 weeks, and I'm going to be working at an open source technology company called Catalyst, and we're gonna see how that goes, considering I make it all up as I go along. And yeah, AJ, you're a great drunk scrabbler. Yeah, so good. Yeah, and then I carve things. I don't have anything finished on me. I got some half finished things. I have 3 screens to try and show this to. This isn't working very well. Do any of you guys, do you carve? Anybody carve? Want to carve? You can ask carving questions as well. And we only got 2, but they're all North Island, which is good because you guys are close to us. Jessie says she makes chainmail. Yes, you do, Jessie. How's my chainmail going, woman? Have you finished it? Have to do a live stream and show that off when you finish it.
Has the commission done? Gonna just keep that for a bit longer. Commission, Jessie?
Oh, hi, Margaret. Must be having an exciting evening if you're joining at this time.
Who's that?
Maggie.
Oh.
She's on the Facebook stream. Yeah, well, it's cool that you guys are close to us. We're going to do more knife making meetups. I think we've got one in
Easter.
Easter?
Yeah.
In Masterton?
19th of April. I want to organise more about that.
19th of April. Yeah. So that'd be cool. Jessie said the boys are still awake and they survived the fireworks. Good on them. I'm glad Marcus survived. Didn't doubt Kian, but glad Marcus survived. And Matt. More Matt. Matt survived. AJ wants to carve. What are you going to carve, man? JT Wilson Photoworks cough. Yes, I will look you up. Feel free to drop a link into the chat if you want there, Jared, so we can check it out.
Have you not seen this photography? It's great.
No.
It's good photography.
You're friends with all the knife makers. I'm friends with like a quarter of the knife makers. But if they do photography, yes, I want to see it. And do you photograph knives, Jared? Because that's hard. Props to you if you do. Reflections are dumb. Everything's shiny. Anything. We had one knife that when we first started selling them, and I photographed it while wearing a pink dressing gown. That was very hard to edit out. Not easy. Not good. Jessie's still there. But did you survive the fireworks, Jessie? Did you survive? Was there enough bourbon for you to survive? Because lots of bourbon is needed. Or you could play Drunk Scrabble with Matt and the kids, although I feel like it would become Fortnite dance names. Jared has some ideas for carving. That's cool. Can't wait to see them. If you want to ask questions at any time, you can just flick us a message.
You are the carving person, so you know.
Yeah. Oh, Jessie's drinking rum. Yeah. You and AJ both, buddy. Said the Scrabble would just go with it perfectly. Jared is doing more landscape portraits at the mo. Yeah, it's a different game, but it's a bit easier because they don't move. So people are a bit harder. Portraits, yeah. And then landscape. I'm really bad at portraits. Matt's good at portraits. He was in the Facebook chat before. He's good at portraits. He likes doing real black and white. Ideas for knife photos. Oh yes, yeah, they can be fun. Then you've got to do the I'd get too artsy and then I get in trouble because it doesn't show the correct proportions. But I want it to make it look like a fantasy weapon with some cool colours, but then people are just like, how deep is the blade? Boring. They are Fortnite dancing now. Oh, Jessie, no! We'll have to get them on a live stream sometime and they can come and show off their skills. We can give them...
Fortnite dance.
Yeah, Mike and Kian.
Oh no, what's the really popular one? The stupid one.
All of them. I'm not doing them. I'm not.
No, I don't.
Flossing.
Oh, that's what it is.
Flossing and dabbing and
Dab's
all
not
kinds of dancing.
too many dances.
Yeah. Do you want to see if Lower Huts do? Oh, they won't deliver, will they? There won't be anything open tonight if Domino's isn't open. So sad.
Domino's isn't open?
Yeah, so sad.
in the heart we can just go over.
Yeah, you might have to check what time they're open till. Usually it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, maybe lower hut just decided to be. Oh, sorry, winery decided to be.
Oh yes, Kenan and Micah could be our mascots.
They could be.
Yeah. I have to make them some weird mask things. And give them some like foam swords or something. Be good.
Yeah.
What are we up to? Oh, we're still on the tell us about yourselves. Hi, Luke. Hello. Is it that time of the evening where we've got half an hour till midnight and we've pulled out the ciders because we've stopped forging things?
Yeah, having a break from forging.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lena's helping out because I have to eat things or I die.
Die.
Yeah.
Aw, dead.
Lots of water. Lots of water. Who's trying to stream?
There's Luke.
Hey, how's it going? We need to sort out a time when you can come by the way. And I think you +1 from memory. We need to do some more stuff. Do some knife forging and do some cool stuff. But yeah, it'd be good. Someone said drunk knives not the best idea. Lena's not drunk. She's just been drinking a little bit of drink, but she's not going to be
I've had half a cider.
half a cider.
Half a
I mean,
cider.
you know, half a cider, guys. You know, that's not too bad. But yeah, knives in general and alcohol not recommended to
No.
mix at all.
No, but I'm not drunk. I've had half a cider.
Lena's not drunk, and nor is she going to be forging and doing anything more related to that. But yeah, hope you're all having a good evening. By the way, I thought I'd just say hi. How's it going?
Hey, Matt's alive still.
Matt's alive. Half a cider. Half a cider. Go to sleep. You are drunk. She is not drunk. She is fine. It was all good. But yeah, I hope you're having a nice. No, not drunk forging, AJ. Sorry. We actually ended up. It was actually funny when we went to the Bladesmith Symposium. These guys were doing like preparation for a really big Damascus steel billet, and it was like these plates of like only 1 inch thick steel. They stacked it about 3 or 4 pieces of steel. Okay, I'm just gonna get Instagram. Go live Instagram because it's closed. But yeah, how's it going, Brent? Thanks for tuning in this evening. Hope you have a nice New Year's. Things are good. What was I saying? Oh, sorry. When we were at the Bladesmith Symposium, guys were preparing a big billet of steel. They were making, a big bar of Damascus, and they were using a big, I think it was a 7 CWT, whatever it is, hammer, massive hammer, power hammer, to forge it out. But we ended up leaving because guys were basically cracking open lots of beers. Like, they weren't drinking just one, they were drinking a lot of beers. And they were getting ready to do some forge welding. And Lena and I are like, I think we're done for the night. We're just going to leave. And as awesome and as spectacular as it may have been, I was quite in disagreement of working while drinking that much alcohol. So that's my opinion. But hey, it's sort of like you get the job done and then you can have a drink, you know. It's quite good. But just they're busy like one hand with the power hammer. It's like, ooh, I'm not sure about that. It's a bit, you do one or the other. Like, do one and then... But it was a bit scary. I think we ended up leaving that night out. We were like, nah, let's have enough of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just replying to comments and stuff and plugging Jared's
YouTube.
photography page. You should go and like
Plugging
that.
his page.
Yeah. Yeah, you should watch that.
Yes. Plugged. You are plugged, Jared. Your channel and page has been plugged.
Page.
Yes.
Just your page.
Just the page.
Nothing else.
No more plugs. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I hope you're all having a good evening. What are you doing for New Year's Eve? That was a question we started at the start of the stream. Nearly even 4 hours.
You must be bored if you're here at
You must be really bored. You've either had enough of the party or the people you're with, opened up Facebook and gone, what's Shea doing? I'll jump online and see what the heck they're doing at this time of hour.
Matt's still alive.
Matt's still alive.
He's just coming down off the adrenaline
He's
fix.
spectating. Woo, thanks.
You're welcome, Jared. We can't wait to see more of your stuff.
Yeah. You do prints and stuff, I think. I think I've seen some of that shared as well. I do actually spend some time on Facebook. I just paste a lot, copy and paste a lot. I post a lot on Facebook compared to spending time on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was quite surprised that my average use on Instagram was like a solid 16 minutes a day. So I was like, oh, that's...
Mine's probably more on my Facebook. Because I use
I don't
Facebook
use...
for my job, so it's open all day.
You have to use Facebook for
really
your job.
boring.
Yeah, but yeah. You kidding me? This is the best thing on right now.
Watching me drink a cider, Luke.
Watching Lena
It's a boring
drink a cider.
It's a boring evening.
You can lean against the anvil.
No, it's all good. I'll just move this.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the best thing for the evening. Obviously, that's good. Well, we have to make it really spectacular then. Doing I'm not sure what. But yeah, thanks for tuning in this evening. I hope you're all having
your phone's half an hour fast.
a nice.
It's not 11:30. It's 11:20.
Oh, which phone? Yeah, one of them's fast because I like being a time
Shay's
traveler.
phone lies.
Yeah. So we got 45 minutes still. 40 minutes to go,
Lena's
guys.
fun drunk. Yeah,
We're not
Matt's
quite there
more
yet.
fun drunk because he can't drink wine.
Yeah, and then we play what was that game? Cards of Humanity. That was good. We need to buy
Against
that.
Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite good. We wanted to do. I want to do that with.
Yeah, look, we're drinking Orchard Thieves
Orchard
tonight.
Thieves. I'm drinking water, but you know.
Yeah. This one's
I'll have some more ciders tomorrow.
It's not very strong, but it tastes good.
It's not super sweet either. It's quite appley. I think that's quite nice. That's what's quite nice about cider. Sawyer. Bottle watch.
Oh, Jesse, you should put a link to your chainmail in our Instagram and the Facebook chat as well. Plug your thing too.
Jesse.
And anyone else with a Facebook page
Jesse, put your plugs
that wants to share it.
on the comment section.
Yes, Matt, wine is your kryptonite.
Matt's terrible with wine. He's yes.
But he drinks heaps of bourbon, but he can't handle cheap wine.
Uncorks. Yeah. Pop. Let's do this. Riley, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's currently 11:20 in New Zealand. If you're in New Zealand too, cool. If you're not in New Zealand, yeah, we're celebrating our New Year's Eve by doing a live stream. So we've been streaming for about 3.5 hours so far, which has been pretty awesome. I've made a J-hook in this time. I was hoping to do a lot more forging work, but things just started getting talking, and it was really good. That's not the right J-hook. The other J-hook. This one. So I forged this at an earlier stage, which was quite fun. So that's going to be a hook for the workshop at some point of the time. I'll put that up at a later stage. But yeah, cheers and choice for Brick coming into the stream. I hope you're all having a nice evening. Yeah, you can down half a bottle of bourbon, but you can't down half a glass of wine. Half a glass, mate. What kind of wine are you drinking? I think your body just absorbs it differently. I mean,
Wine's just easy to drink.
wine is quite easy to drink in your body. I mean, bourbon doesn't have that much sugar in it, does it?
Maybe he's just getting a sugar high. That's what it is.
Maybe you're just getting a sugar high. It could be just a sugar high, not being...
And then you get wasted quicker. I don't know. Jessie put her website and Instagram. Thank you. Can you put it on Facebook too? Also, it's not linked in your Facebook profile, Jessica.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find your website. So
No
if you
one
could
knows
add
what you
that
do.
there for us.
No one knows who you
Do
are.
that. Do that
Do
for
it.
us.
Do it. Do it. Alright. I'm going to quickly disappear a sec, but Lena's going to be keeping in mind on the stream for me.
Back in the seat. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Matt, for putting the link to her website in the chat.
I got this.
You want to put a link to your website too, Matt? Matt, for people who don't know him, is he's a cinematographer and he makes movies and shit. And he has a Wix website with a not purchased domain name. So I can't tell you what it is because it's like Matt Sharp, some numbers and stuff. Oh yes, ajdrunkscrabbler.co.nz. That's where we'll all be going. Next year, New Year's Eve, I expect it to be up and running so I can play Drunk Scrabble while we live stream. Hello, Alexandra.
Is it loud?
I don't know. I'm not. Unless I go and stand over there and turn the volume on. You can do that if you want.
Volume on there.
Yeah, put the headphones in and then see how loud it's coming through the stream. Because I've got the sound turned off. Matt is a cheap Scotsman. Yes, he is. He is. Maybe my birthday present to you every year should be paying for your domain name. $30 is a cheap birthday present. But for those of you who don't know, AJ has a real page as well. He makes some cool shit. You should go check it out. AJ Prime. Artisan. Knife maker.
Prime knives.
No, someone had Prime knives.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did a post about why he couldn't have one of them, I think. Who else is still in the chat? I mean, obviously Brent Sandow, an awesome knife maker. Luke makes cool knives too. Terrence makes awesome stuff. I hope to have a life by next year. Nah, you'll still be here with us. There's Matt's link, MA6429, wixsite.com. Matt, that's terrible. Terrible. Tip for anybody who does get a free website and want their name to be in the title, if you put your username in at the start now, you can usually set it before you make it live and then it will do a proper thing. A little bit. Hey Terrence. Yes, thank you Jared Wilson. Prime Artisan Knives, that's the order of the words I was trying to remember. And he makes cool stuff. It's got a really cool stamp. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the same. It's so cool. Your domain is being squatted. No, that sucks. Oh man. That's the thing. People get hold of a URL, they get hold of the name that you want, and they hold it hostage. That's why you got to buy multiple. We haven't done it yet. Don't do it to our name. But that's why you should buy the .co, .nz, the .com, and the .nz if you can afford it, so people can't steal your shit, because people suck. It's like TradeMe. There's a TradeMe.com that's not anything like TradeMe.co.nz, and every time I Google it, my computer got confused and sent me to this weird site. That's obviously not the New Zealand selling one, but... Hi Hoodie, nice to see you again. Hope you're having a good New Year's with the boys, or the missus and the dog and the kid. You still there, Jesse? Bit quiet in the Instagram chat. Shay's just messing with music and stuff. It doesn't say no forging. Jared wanted jaredwilson.com, but it's owned by a raging bore of a man. Upsets me greatly. Oh no! Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, when your name is associated with something else. We had because our last name was Stackhouse. When True Blood was a big thing, everyone's like, oh, Sookie Stackhouse, oh, vampires and drama and shit. But like, oh, every time I went to the bank of all places, people would be like, Sookie Stackhouse, and I'm like, yes, sure. Micah and Kian are still watching. Hi, Micah and Kian. I'm glad you didn't die in the fireworks. Good job. And yes, you should come and dance for us. We'll happily host you dancing. You can show off the safety gear. You can draw faces on the masks. It'll be good. They'll maybe not give you the hammers though. They're probably bigger than you. Bigger than your arm. Jessie's still awake. She's staring into the void, longing for sleep. Ah, that's every parent, isn't it? You should just go to bed. Leave Matt with the kids. He's fine. He's still over here, assassin, you know. Mike can do the world's fastest floss. I'm sure he can. But you might have to put a link to something else later. Like the True Blood, I'd rather watch Knife Forging. Us too, Luke. Us too. But, you know, we could, yeah, it doesn't really vamp. I was like, I wondered if we could sneak it in, like if you got some photos from True Blood and then you just photoshopped our knife making logo onto them, or some knives and stuff. Less nudity. Yeah, there was apparently a lot of nude scenes. Yes, that's Shea replying as me, obviously, because I'm standing here. No hands. AJ has defeated the rum. Good job, bro. Good job. You and Jessie are getting there with the rum. Yeah, but it's that thing, eh? Pop culture versus interesting things like knife making. But then you could do some really bad parodies. We were talking about that after the Auckland Blade show, making parodies of things, like making parodies of Alex Steele because Shea has fluffy blonde hair and glasses. AJ Prime Rumham. Good night, Terrence. It's a good effort, man. Good effort. Jessie has nearly polished her bottle of rum. Oh, that's good, Jessie. Well done to you. You're going to sleep so well tomorrow. I'm going to be sure to call you at 6 and ruin your day. You going good over there, Shea? Man in the live stream. We got any more? No. I was just saying if we had any more YouTube messages, but no.
Nothing from YouTube.
Oh, not a whole bottle in one night, Matt. That's probably a good thing. Yeah. Jessie wants to do an armor piece with us. Yes, we want to do an armor piece with you. Get your shit together and we'll do one. Finish the one you're making for me, then we can show it off. Then we can plan the next project. Luke, what is this image? Shay, what is this image that Luke sent? Rumham. We're going to show you on a screen and another screen.
Rumham.
Rumham. There you go. Is it Danny DeVito holding a ham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's holding a ham,
Danny
guys.
DeVito holding a ham.
So good.
Yes, 15 episodes have been crazy. But just the S. 15 episodes for the S, Jared. That's how it goes. And lots of that, the camera angle, but you put the camera here, then you just kind of whip your head around. Because you can't be stationary.
I'm going to engrave
Oh, that thing where you
gold.
it's like I don't know how he does it. He just kind of flicks his head around as he takes them. And yeah, 15 episodes. I honestly, I do follow him on Instagram, but I don't follow his stories because I just skip through now to see what he actually made. No, we haven't seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Blah, blah, blah. He soaks a ham in rum so he gets drunk when he eats it. That sounds like a good idea to me. Although I don't know how the rum would taste with the ham. Maybe a very fruity rum, not a strong one. Although rum is kind of fruity. I don't know. Jesse, have you ever soaked... No, you don't really like ham, do you? Matt, have you ever soaked a ham in rum?
AJ's like, the hell? It's gotten to that weird part of the night.
Yeah. You know, it's that time.
It is that time.
We're almost ready to sign off. I've almost finished this one cider I've been drinking.
Solo cider.
A solo cider. And I brought all these things to do and I just answered questions and played Pokemon in the background. Does bacon fat count? Like you've had rum soaked in... No, bacon soaked in rum, Matt. Is that...
Maybe.
Is that what your answer is? No, but I would do that with bacon. You would cook your bacon in rum. I suppose you could do it like candied bacon, because rum's high in sugar. So you could like put it on the bacon and then bake it in the oven, so it goes like crispy rum bacon. Maybe. That would be good. Bourbon bacon. Bourbon bacon would be nice too, yes. Is that what you're making next time we come round, Matt? Bourbon bacon? If we bring the bacon and you bring the bourbon. And then we have one with rum and one with bourbon. And then we can compare how good they are. There's more fireworks going on. Probably can see them from our window, but we close the door because we have giant moths. Yes, Matt, that's what I want to hear. Shay's just hiding in the corner typing now.
Yeah, I'm just managing the comment. Can we give it a swap, my name?
Good. There's like there's 5 people here.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. Did J-Hook come down?
J-Hook.
Yeah, where'd he go? Did he come down?
Okay, J-Hook is here. Here you go. You can have a look at it now.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
I don't know, those
This music's not too loud.
holes are a bit wonky.
Yeah, very wonky. One of them kind of slogged a little bit. I don't know how
And we
to
got
say it.
this like knobbly bit. Will this fit your hat, Matt?
Probably.
Will it fit your hat?
Might fit his hat.
Yeah. Maybe not your keys. You could have made that into a leaf. Then you could have done it as
Yeah,
a
well,
J-hook and a leaf.
I was just saying, you
Two
can
in
make
one.
it into a leaf, but we're going to make
Rum,
it into
yes,
a
bourbon, no.
pop
You
style.
don't think bourbon would be good, AJ? Is that because you've tried it?
Yeah, he's tried it. He's done it.
Because I held it wrong. I don't think so, Matt. They are wonky. Wonky.
Wonky. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, hope you're all having a good evening, by the way, just to put that out there. Yeah, you must be really desperate if you're coming into the stream at this time of hour.
Unless you're in Australia, then you're like 2
Unless you're in
hours
Australia, yeah.
behind.
If you're actually in Australia,
Everyone else, we're like, what are you doing at this time of the day that you're here?
everyone in New Zealand, it's like, what are you doing? But you know, most.
Hi, Design Pilot and Christian.
Christian, how's it going? You moved to Christchurch, haven't you? I saw that. I'll have to catch up with you when I'm down in Christchurch late January, maybe, if you're about. But I've got some teaching to do down there.
So, what are you desperate for, Matt? Matt, what are you desperate for? Matt.
Matt's desperate for
I don't know.
something.
He didn't say. He just said so desperate. I don't
Oh,
know
that
what
doesn't
he's still.
sound good.
What are you, Matt? I know you're desperate.
Matt's desperate for something. What are you doing, Matt? What are you doing, mate? What are you desperate for? I know you are, Matt. We are watching you. Are you listening to Kenny G? I don't know what I'm listening to. This is basically because I've got it on YouTube. It's a no loyalty or no copyright based music, so I can run it on my YouTube stream, and YouTube's not just gonna go nope and cancel my stream. So that's pretty much why. Matt said you must be desperate watching you, lol. Lena's super desperate. Yes, very.
Rude.
Yeah. What was I saying?
I'm on the live stream. That makes me.
You're on the live stream, yeah. So technically, Matt is desperate, no matter what.
There's a bacon gift.
The bacon one there. So what was I saying? Making sure these are all alive. Cool. Yeah. So I don't know. We're about half an hour before the new year, which is pretty exciting. So we've got another half an hour to go. I'm kind of contemplating on forging something, but I'm kind of not thinking about it as well.
Just make a leaf out of that last bit rather than making a new thing.
I could do. I want to get back into doing more regular streams. I ended up dropping off quite a bit because I had work commitments and streams didn't pay the bills. The commissions did, and the classes paid the bills. So yeah. Ken and Micah are just trying to stay awake until midnight. Oh, poor little boys. 20 minutes. 20 minutes to go. Oh, wow. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh, have some more V. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't. I might put the V down.
Sleep is nice.
I gotta have sleep tonight. Yeah, 20 minutes to go. But, yeah, it's been a pretty eventful night. We've done all sorts of stuff tonight. We've done some forging. We've done some talks about what we're doing for the new year. We've had all sorts of people through this evening stream, which is really fun. Pardon me. And been really good. Yeah, it's coming to the kind of funny, exciting, strange part of the night where people just start putting random stuff out in the comment section. So there's nothing wrong with that, but it's still pretty funny. But yeah. You guys are keeping me awake till New Year's. We're gonna keep you awake. You are not gonna sleep until we go to sleep. I'm at oh, funny. Hashtag old bastard. I'm feeling like that at the moment. I've had half a V and that's keeping me up a little bit, but I'm pretty much gonna completely go to sleep after this. It's gonna be good. But I don't know. No one's really done it.
We should have brought a party popper or something.
Yeah, we should have brought a party popper.
We don't have any way to celebrate it.
I could
We'll be like,
hey. I could just turn the forge on once more. No?
Burn something.
Fire. Burn something. Okay, I'll just burn something.
We'll just write Happy New Year on a bit of paper and
Happy New Year and set it on fire.
Yeah, there we go. We're not pyros.
We're not pyromaniacs.
Yeah,
What sort of knife do you make in your classes, says Riley? Hold on for a second and I'll go get a knife that you make in my class. So that's kind of one of the knives that you put the right angle. But that's one of the knives you could expect to make in one of the classes. It's sort of a general purpose paring knife, something you can forge and complete in the day, so that you can take it home and then use it in your kitchen at home. So basically, that kind of shape. Everyone gets given the same amount of steel in the class, the one-day knife making class. So some of the blades are a little bit longer, sometimes the blades are thinner, not so narrow, maybe the blades are a bit deeper and wider. In the knife making class, you don't really draw a design of the knife, you just start forging and making the knife. So there's no design in order, there's no expectation, it's just making the knife and learning those skills so you can learn to craft it basically. It's pretty fun. So yes. One day build. So much that yeah, exactly. Paring knives, exactly. We should look at doing paring knives. Also for minimizing back use, I think we'll use the power hammer a lot more, but we'll be a bit more safe about it. But definitely doing that look will be good. So yeah, maybe doing some paring knives. I think I have the model of what people could make somewhere. Okay, it's not here. It's not here. I have a forged, rough finished knife that is made from the same piece of steel, but I'll find it later. But yeah, so for the YouTube comment section, that's the kind of knife you'd expect to look at making for the 1-day class. And if you ever are in New Zealand, it's quite a fun thing to do while you're traveling New Zealand, because you come by, and obviously because you can just do it in 1 day and then travel to the South Island. It's quite a good pit stop to have a knife with you. Obviously, when you go back to your own country, make sure you don't take it in your main luggage. In your carry-on luggage. Put it in your main luggage. Yeah, pretty much it. That's the knife. It's really small. I have had I get the comments a lot about people wanting to do really big knives, and they've watched like Forged in Fire.
Can you show the knife closer?
I'll show the knife closer.
For each screen?
Yeah, I'll do it for each screen. And it's quite, the scales are quite fat, and I'm not one for square edges, so any way you squeeze that handle is not going to fatigue your hand. So when you're using it not for 5 minutes, you won't really feel it, but using the knife for 4 hours, when you're peeling something, repetitive actions are going to fatigue your hand. So that's why it's like about that comfort. And also quite big on that for not just full tang handles, but also hidden tang handles as well. But this is actually New Zealand. It's elm, the wood as well. It's really lovely. What I might do is get a couple of my other blades to show off as well, just as an idea. But yeah. But I made about probably 30 to 40 of these for the Seeker show in 2017, and I hate the design now. When you have to make like 40 of the same knife, it's a pain in the butt. Trust me. It's great, but it's a pain in the butt. I make these guys quite a lot, this knife. By the way, these sheaths are made by the wonderful Simon Walker. If you want a custom wet fit sheath, I recommend him. I'm actually going to tag this dude in the message. How do you tag someone? Request. Okay, it's not going to work on this one. Simon Walker is the knife maker. On Instagram, he goes by the name of Bush Bimbler. And he is one of the only other New Zealand knife making YouTubers out there. So Bush Bimbler. There we go. That's his name there. So close to YouTube. What?
Spelling the word Scrabble.
All right.
Still playing Scrabble.
You guys are still playing Scrabble. That's awesome. Okay. Anyway, Bush Bimbler. His name's Simon Walker. I'll just put that on the chat. But Simon Walker makes these wonderful wet fit leather sheaths. He does a double stitch, and this is actually all hand stitched as well. So really wonderful work. I can't quote you on the prices that he charges for them, but if you get hold of him, they're a really good quality sheaths. So if you want one made, contact this dude. But he makes them for my huko, my Finnish style knives that I make. So I make quite a lot of these now, and I'm quite in love with the shape. They're really just something nice about them. I don't know, I can't explain it, but really nice knives. So huko, this one of mine is a Damascus steel blade. Hopefully you can see that in the right light. Hopefully you can see that in the right light. Full tang, so the tang has been riveted over the brass, and it's made of all sorts of layers of G10 and brass. And then this is red jarrah for the handle material. and then the same arrangement of red Jara, red G10 and brass at the other end, and also you can see the fitting. But this is my personal one. It's still quite thick. It's about 6 millimeters thick at the base of the blade. It's really good for carving and really good for quite heavy work. So if you're doing tent pegs or you're doing any kind of work, it's really great for just ripping straight into wood very, very quickly. And this is removed, and I probably haven't sharpened it, but it's pretty good. But if you were splitting things as well, also quite good for that. But yeah, so that's one of my bushcrafters. So if I go walking and camping or anything like that, I will take this knife with me because it's just really comfortable and highly recommended. So recommend that. A couple of other blades I've got. This is a similar iteration to the one I've just made or showed you guys, but slightly more fancy. Probably the longest handle to blade ratio of these Pukos. I also left the back of the blade a rough forged finish. You can see on the blade, and then it's a polished Damascus steel, very broad ladder pattern at the base of the on the Scandi grind. So it's a very steep Scandi, or just a 3/4 flat grind, whatever you want to call it. Fitting, and then G10 liners, and this is Pururi, so really nice timber. Also very skinny and narrow at the front, so if for a smaller hand it's not alienated for them and it's not very uncomfortable, but for a larger hand it's still quite adaptive, and you can use it towards the back of the handle and still have quite a manageable amount of grip. This guy is a really good cutter because it's a Scandi, technically a Scandivec, so you can really rip into wood quite quickly. But I'm going through quite knotty dry remove, which is really terrible for your knives, but either of which is still pretty good. So yeah. But, good. I'm quite pleased with them. Again, the blade's quite thick, but the blade is quite short. I mean, it's about yay tall. But I'm not stingy on the back of the handle. This is the most important part of your knife. Back of the handle needs to feel comfortable, needs to feel good, otherwise you can't use it. So yeah, and that's also another sheath made by Simon. So a really good knife making sheath by Simon Walker, highly recommended. Just going to quickly change this angle a wee bit. There we go. But yeah, Simon Walker makes the sheaths. Good lad. He's in Auckland in New Zealand, so have a chat to him if you want to make if you want a sheath made from him. Here's another knife I made earlier this year, which is made of Jara, also another sheath by Simon. Wonderful work, Simon, as usual. You want to tag Simon into the comment section? Yeah. SGW blades. This is more of a hunting bushcrafter. I'm not sure how to approach this one. It's still quite thick for wood processing and work, but a bit more simple. So this one isn't full tang, it's a hidden tang with my stamp. Damascus steel blade again, made by myself. So all the Damascus steel I have in my blades, I have also made the Damascus steel, just for those that do not know. A pinned rivet, which can be uncomfortable for some people, but also, in my opinion, I was going with a theme because the front of the guard, if I can get it in the right light, has a texture to it. So you can see that texture along the bottom of the guard. Making this stuff perfect makes me go insane, but it has to be done perfectly. Yes, and then the back of the handle, not Puko design, very almost traditional, I guess molded handle is what you call it, but just very traditional. It's not going to slip in your hand. It's quite comfortable. Again, the blade's quite thick, so it's a flat grind with a thick Scandivec, but it's also quite good for feather sticking or doing other work. So you can still break down wood quite quickly, but yeah, mainly for feather sticks. It's quite good for doing that if you were to start a fire. Really good. But yeah, I quite like this shape. I probably wouldn't make them again, but again, it's just the knife you're making and the shape you're wanting to make, so whatever. But yeah, that's that guy. If you didn't get a close-up of that, just show it off. Yeah, so, and I do like just the overall look of it, quite comfortable looking. It could be, I guess, classified as a puko, but it's quite European towards the back here, but whatever knife you, whatever knife design you think it is, yeah, it is that. Really nice knife. Yeah. So, have a bunch of these guys sitting around, laying around, doing nothing. Back to my favourite kind of knife shape that I make. These ones, a carbon steel gyoto with a octagonal sculpted handle with a subtle curve to the blade. So it's quite an odd shape, but really nice to use as well. So I really like this kind of shaped knife. It's very fun to make. Super thin blade, literally a flat grind all the way to a very thin, ever so slight convex to the blade, but because it's so thin it just goes through most things. Purple heart handle, so hopefully you can see that in the right light. But this has been purple hearts with some Danish oil on the handle. Again, the fitting, you see the fitting of the blade, it's quite a small fitting, it's very petite up at the front of the handle. You're almost holding it with your index finger up here, and you're kind of pinch gripping most of the way out the blade when you're cutting and chopping. But and again, the Damascus blade pattern, hopefully you can see that in the right light. Getting patterns of Damascus knives is a pain in the butt. So yeah, again, all the Damascus steel I make myself. This one's got about 200-300 layers in it. I do forget, I did make it late 2017, so quite a while ago on that one. I haven't quite sold it yet, but I've got some customers that are keen on it in the near future, so cross fingers on that, they may be back, but I'm just using it in my kitchen until they want the knife, really. Yeah. And then recently I finished off this sword, which some of you that are on the stream may have seen it in person, which I was very happy with finishing, but I made the blade a long time ago, and made my mission to just finish off a bunch of not finished blades that were sitting on my bench that had no reason to, for the projects to be finished, to be stopped. So I wanted to finish the blades off, get them handled. So I had a bunch of old blades there. So this is the one I was most proud of just getting done and calling it done. And then the next the next sword that I make is going to be a lot nicer. So I made this from recycled steels. So now this is actually Gamako steel. And hence the pattern in the blade is quite randomized, and also the etch is quite interesting. It's quite a subtle etch. You want to turn that music down just a tiny bit? The iPod's just there.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright, it's on Bluetooth. It's on Bluetooth. But yeah, so so yeah, that's the blade I got done, and it's not that long of a sword. I mean it's not that big, but the handle's quite long. So I just wanted to finish that guy off and call it finished and completed. And I had this on display at the Auckland Blade Show and the Seeker Show. I would like to have it at a gallery in the near future that would like to hold on to it. It would be really nice to just say, hey, I've finished it. But this thing is wicked sharp, and I have used it in a previous video to chop vegetables. I actually used a welding rod accidentally to chop through, to hold a cabbage in place on a piece of pipe. Shouldn't have used a welding rod because I ended up actually cutting through the welding rod, and it ended up putting the tiniest little edge deformation in the sword. But it only took me about probably 30 seconds on a diamond stone to get rid of that slight bit of edge deformation and get it back to sharp. But this one I've been really proud of. I mean, obviously there's so much I can improve on, And yes, the fittings and embellishments aren't the tidiest, but I just wanted to get this sword finished because this thing's been on my workshop wall, screwed in with a screw through the hole in the tang, sitting on the workshop wall, just looking at me for a long time, and I just didn't get the time to finish it. And yeah, just getting things done for my for this year was the most important one for me. Just saying that knife that I made, I'd say 3 years ago, or this sword that I made 3 years ago, is just done and dusted without any problems at all. So just really important stuff that it's really important to finish projects because it's very easy to start them and you know, it's very easy to start projects and just put them down because as soon as you put them down you lose all that energy, you lose all that I guess that all that you know, energy and
Luke asked what the handle's wrapped with. So
cotton. We got it from Spotlight. I'll get a zoom on the handle. I actually soaked it in oil, wax and then some oil, and then I actually used a heat gun and a torch to burn it so it sort of shrunk around the handle. It's still a little bit loose, but again, pretty happy with it. But get a good angle on that. There's like a little fish for the Minkuni or Minuki, sorry. Minkuni. So, Minkuni. Minuki. So yeah, that little dude there, he's quite cute. But yeah, just cotton cord or flat cord. And then all the fittings are all either copper and shibuchi. I made the super from shibuchi and the rest of these guys are textured copper. So yeah. Oh wow, I just hit New Year. Oh my god. We didn't even do a countdown. Oh my gosh. I was too busy talking. Oh my gosh. We just missed that entirely. Oh well, that's my bad. Anyway, yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you're all having a good evening and we'll go to bed now. We're gonna go to sleep as well. But yeah. And maybe eat something, yeah. See if McDonald's is open. Might be open. Alright, well everyone take care. Thank you very much for tuning into this evening's stream. It's been a ball having you stay all the way through, or you've kind of dipped in and dipped out, but nonetheless it's been of great value for all of us. So yeah. Anything else to add to that?
No.
Good luck with the Scrabble.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you next year.
See you next year. We're going to do a stream earlier. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.